You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm
The champ is here.
say I'm supposed to.
The champ is here.
If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Some murder. Some let go. Some murder. Some let go. All I wanna do is well, I take your money, nay. Y'all know what time it is, man. The doctor's in the house. What it do, what it do, what it do. Yeah, I'm talking about. We out here, baby. Bright early in the morning, bruh. Remind me to tell y'all why I was 2 minutes late today. I'm gonna tell you, bro. This is why this all right, I'm gonna just tell y'all. But shout out to my boy Dub, man. Dub in the building. Some murder. Y'all ready for the next presidente? La Presidente Proxima. Well, actually, if Kamala Harris wins, she wouldn't be the next president. She'll be the first president because she'll be the first woman president and the first black woman president all in one. If Donald Trump wins, he'll be a president that's won his term, lost, and won another term. Let's get it. It's challenge day, right? Like they said, Black Panther. It's challenge day. It's election day. But please bow your heads, join me with the prayer. Thank you, Lord, for waking us up this bright, beautiful morning, Lord, on this Tuesday, Lord. And please let the most fit person be elected to the Oval Office that has the best interests of the American people in their mind and in their hearts, Lord. And please guide those to the polls safely that are getting their vote in, and let it be without incident, Lord. We don't need violence. We don't need anger. We don't need corruption when trying to express our voice and fulfill our civic duty. Please, Lord, continue to guide us and bless us, Lord. And once again, rest in peace to those that we lost recently. Also, a special salute to Mr. Quincy Jones. Rest in peace. And sincere condolences to his families and loved ones and all that he touched throughout the course of his life. And Lord, continue to bless us and keep us safe from those that are facing any type of hurdles or any type of hardships, particularly physically, emotionally, financially, mentally, and even those that are, especially our brothers and sisters in Oklahoma's, our Oklahomies out there in Oklahoma that are facing some pretty inclement, some weather, some rough and severe weather and other inclemency, Lord, especially my boy, our boy, Tech Dumb Dad, who's out there, man, and Oscar, who's out there as well, Lord. Please keep him safe and keep him under your embrace and lead us in the right direction for the rest of our days. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it, man. So I'm going to tell y'all, people ask me, Doc, how come you don't use Twitter like that? How come you don't be on Twitter? Because nonsense be on Twitter. Because a whole bunch of nonsensical people be on Twitter spouting and spewing their nonsense. So let me show you this right here. This is why I was late, chat. I was actually early. I've been in this seat because I worked out and all that stuff. I've been in this seat since 7:47. Like the plane. I'm talking about like the Boeing joint. I've been in this seat since 7:47, bro. And this is why I was late, bro. Because I lost track of time. Guess what I was doing? Tweeting, chirping like a little bird. This is why I lost track of time, bro. Because I saw this post and I felt so compelled to respond to it. So this person, he dropped the news yesterday about Inoue signing that big deal with Big Turk, which I think is dope, man. It's great for Inoue. We want to see Inoue fight more. We want to see him fight other challenges that aren't currently allowed to even fight in Japan. So this opens a door for that possibility. Like, John Rio Casimiro, who was just recently banned for a year for missing weight against Saulo Sanchez. He cannot fight in Japan, and saying by way of the JBC, Japan Boxing Commission. I'm cool with that. He didn't abide by the rules. He didn't adhere to the rules. I actually salute Japan because they are very strict on the rules. And if you cheat with PEDs, if you cheat or if you use weight to your advantage, you come in an excessive amount of weight, they don't play. They can hit you with the hammer. So I like John Rio Casimiro, but I like Naoya Inoue too. I don't have to choose, you know what I'm saying? But I would like that fight to happen, and this could possibly facilitate that. I think Naoya Inoue beats John Rio Casimiro, especially he's 35 right now, and that's not old, but I think that the tools that Inoue has are a little bit more effective than the tools that John Rio Casimiro has at his what the word I'm looking for? Disposal. At his disposal. So I think his tools, John Rio Casimiro really has punching power right now and athleticism. In a way, probably has as much as athleticism and probably a little bit more explosive with his punch power. So I think, and he's a better counter puncher. So I think in a way it has a little bit more tools at his disposal than John Rio Casimiro at this point. But I would still like to see that fight happen. And then MJ Akhmadaliev, right? That's the fight I want to see the most between that Inoue can have at 122, especially if he beats his opponent coming up. And I think he's fighting in Monaco, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. Even Elijah Pierce would be interesting to me. He's about to fight Sam Goodman December 24th, good Lord willing, at the end of this year. And then potentially, even if he does go to featherweight, maybe this could help make those fights happen, and it'll help build his brand, because Naoya Inoue is a beast and more people need to know about him. But unfortunately, when you fight in Japan, it's not really conducive for the Western Hemisphere, people in the Western Hemisphere, to tune in, because like I say, he fights on a Tuesday at 4 a.m. in America on the East Coast time, and that's not really feasible for a lot of people to wake up, to watch boxing, especially smaller weight. So, but he's a 2-time undisputed, definitely top 3 pound for pound. I think he's a beast, and I like Inoue, and I love this deal, man, because I think Big Turk has been doing great things for boxing. He could team up with another great boxer. Now he'll have Bud and Usyk, and now Inoue. He would have worked with all 3 of the top guys, in the sport. So I think it's great for the sport, and I think it's great for Inoue. We can see him more times. We already him fighting Sam Goodman. I think this will be the 3rd time we've seen him this year, or the 2nd time. He fought Louis Neary earlier, and then he fought TJ Doheny, and then now Sam Goodman upcoming. So I'll be 3 times this year, and I think that's dope. But this person right here, I even made a video complimenting. Now, of course, I'm not the biggest streamer, but I make videos about it, and I'm black, just in case you couldn't tell, I'm black and I'm proud, right? So this guy puts, Inoue is about to have his 4th fight in the last 12 months. Okay, that's great. He said Haney, Tank, and Crawford will all only fight once this year. He put a thumbs down. Okay, that's great. What the heck does that have to do with Inoue? But okay, let's keep it going. Bud's only had 5 fights in the last 5 years. Again, what the freak does that have to do with Inoue? Or Big Turk signing with Inoue? And he said, but I'm seeing American fight fans dragging Inoue for taking $15 million to fight in Riyadh season. Actually, it's 19.7 million because 3 billion yen translates to roughly $20 million. So he's wrong again there, because it's 19.7 million unless there was an adjustment that I'm unaware of. And he said, what are we doing here, guys? Are you even freaking boxing fans? Let's see. I fit the American description, and I fit the black description because he pointed out 3 black boxers. I mean, first of all, Haney's not even active right now, so why did he say Caleb Plant? Caleb Plant would have fit the American description, but he specifically pointed out 3 black boxers, and so he's trying to push a narrative that black boxers or black boxing fans or the black boxing community or the black community in general is hating on Inoue. Where is he getting that from? Matter of fact, is it Inoue on my intro? It's not even just about me, but I haven't seen anybody say, have you, Dub, or anybody else? Has anybody heard anybody say, oh, Inoue signed with Big Turk? He should have signed with him because Haney's not signing with him. Haney's been he's been interacting with Big Turk, and we know Bud has. The only one that hasn't is Tank. So I don't really understand why you isolated 3 black boxers. It's not even because they're all active, because obviously, like you said, they're inactive. Caleb Plant is American, and he only fought once a year. Matter of fact, he only fought once in 2 years. So I don't really understand the narrative that he's trying to push. So I responded. I said I love this. Inoue is a beast. He said, that said, what the fuck does Bud, Tank, Haney have to do with Inoue signing with Big Turk? Unless you see narratives being pushed from the black community specifically, I'm thoroughly confused to your point. It seems like you're hating on the fighters listed, and I was being very nice about it. It seems like he's hating on, like he's trying to start something. I've never seen anybody that's a fan of black boxers or Haney or Tank or Crawford or American. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I don't see everything. What I'm saying is, even if he's seen it, have you seen enough? Because like I said, I'm black and American, and I love Inoue, and I love this deal. I even made a video about it. I even spoke about it. So where are you getting this from? It seems like you don't like Tank, Haney, and Crawford for whatever reason, and you're trying to somehow tie it with Naoya Inoue and people's displeasure with his manufactured and fabricated displeasure with Inoue signing with Big Turk. Like, what's the point of this divide? Like, I don't. And it's so funny, the people that are trying to, expose or whistleblow the divide or try to expose people, you're exposing yourself. Because this is so easy to look through that you don't like Haney, you don't like Tank, you don't like Crawford, and you like Inoue, and you're happy for this deal, and somehow trying to flip this and make it seem like people are dragging Inoue. And even if there is some people that are black dragging Inoue, that's not reflective of a whole community, because I like Tank, I like Crawford, and I like Haney, and I like Inoue, and I love this deal. And I'm black, and I'm American. So I just contradicted everything you just listed. So where are you getting this from? Where did you get this from to tweet about it like a little bird out here snitching early in the morning about nothing, lying and snitching? If you're gonna snitch on me, tell the truth. If it's something I did, then I take it. But I don't. If you're gonna snitch on me and lie, you need to be put under the earth in a jail cell, never come out. Your lying, snitching ass, disabled thinker. You feel me, Dub? I don't have social media because most people are undiagnosed mentally. Respect facts. Like, he just made that up, bro. This is all I'm on. I appreciate you, brother. Big salute. That's why I'm 2 days behind. Hey, but that's crazy though, bro. Like, where is he getting that from? Like I said, even if there is a lot of black folks that don't like the Inoue deal, I'm pretty sure if you look hard enough, there's some Asian folks that don't like it, because I could tell you a lot of people that like John Rio Casimiro, part of the Filipino community, don't really favor Inoue. So I could see a lot of Filipinos, or specifically, or just Asian folks that don't like this deal. Is the Asian community hating on Inoue because a few Asian people of a culture don't like it? So you're doing exactly what you're claiming that you don't like. You're putting everybody together from a general statement, and you're generalizing, and it's erroneous. So if a white person doesn't like Inoue, is that indicative of an entire community or nation not liking somebody? So if I'm Asian, I have to like Inoue, and I can't like Bud, or vice versa. If I'm Asian, I can't like Bud, and I have to like Inoue, or I can't like Inoue and I have to like Bud. Like, what are we talking about, bro? There's plenty of Asian fighters that I like. There's some Asian fighters I don't like. There's plenty of black fighters I like. There's some black fighters I don't like. There's plenty of white fighters I like. There's some white fighters I don't like. There's plenty of Hispanic fighters I like. There's some I don't like. What does that have to do with this entire narrative that there's this community versus that community because they do or don't like, in a ways, deal with Big Turk? So he just completely made that up, bro. I don't know, bro. That just gets on my nerves, man. I ain't gonna lie. I shouldn't let it bother me as much as it does, but it really does. I hate generalizations, man. I really do hate, especially when it's based on culture or ethnicity or complexion or religion or orientation or gender or anything like that, bro. I really hate that. But anyway, in other news, man, I don't know if you remember. I know my boy Dub does, but if you remember Ike Ibuchi, you know, Ikemefula Ibuchi, you know, he's a heavyweight boxer, man. Apparently, he is coming out of retirement to fight again, man, after serving some long prison terms, man. Undefeated fighter Ibuchi is set to return to professional boxing ring at age 51 after 25 years out of the ring, and he is now officially scheduled to face a man, Abbas. Literally, he's literally about to face a man, because he better not be fighting nobody serious. Because he's 51. He better just be facing a man, you know, and not really a man that's a great pugilist. He's facing him on December 7th in Nigeria. Big up Nigeria. He said Ibuchi was a 20-0 heavyweight in 1999 on course for a world title shot. Excuse me. Then he was sentenced to 2 to 10 years for battery with intent to commit a crime. And 3 to 20 years for attempted sexual assault, no bueno, after being deemed incompetent to stand trial due to bipolar disorder. He is now free and set to fight again. Yeah, Ike was a bad man. Facts. Ike was a bad man. Look at this, 20-0. You know what I'm saying? AKA the president. You know what I'm saying? Big up Nigeria, man. So he's coming back, man. He lives in Texas. Hopefully, you know, and it seems like he has a place in Nigeria still. You know, born in Nigeria. He beat Chris Bird in 1999 was his last fight. He also beat David Tua by unanimous decision for a WBC international belt. He's a good fighter, man. With that being said, do I think he should come back? Hell no. But it ain't my life, you know. It's his life, you know. I'm pretty sure, you know. I do salute him for being for not letting go of his dreams, and even though it was derailed, hopefully he was not guilty of those crimes. I don't know. I'm not about to I'm not about to look into it, but glad that he's out. He served his time. Time served, you know. Paid his price to society, and guilty or not. And then, yeah, he's about to fight again at 51 years old, man. Last time I've seen a 51-year-old in the ring that I could recall was B-Hop, and he was getting knocked out that mug. Last time I seen a 51-year-old in the ring, he was getting knocked out the ring by Joe Smith Jr. You know, B-Hop Joe Smith Jr. did B-Hop nasty. Speaking of Joe Smith Jr., he's actually has a fight coming up, too, in December for a fight at cruiserweight. So shout out to my boy Joe Smith Jr., man, coming back. It's good to see him. I'm looking forward to that fight. I can't remember who he's fighting, but I saw it yesterday, Joe Smith Jr. But anyway, yeah, Oscar in the building, my guy. So, he said the man that's running around loose in Texas got stank. Yeah, I don't know, man. Shout out to the Texans out there, man. Be safe out there. You know, so you got to worry about the storm, the hurricanes brewing in the Gulf, and Ibuchi running them streets. But then, hey, they've been having to deal with Ted Cruz for a long time, so I'm sure they'll be all right. If you can deal with Ted Cruz, you can deal with Ibuchi, excuse me. Yeah, I think that him coming back is, you know, it's cool, you know, but I just don't want to see the older gentlemen or ladies get punched on, man. I think it could do more harm than good. But like I said, I don't know who A-Man is. So, matter of fact, let's look it up right now. I'm sure they wouldn't put him against a guy that would be too dangerous. You know, he got tested water, stuff like that. But then again, you know, sometimes you could be over ambitious and go against a guy like Joe Smith Jr. if you're B-Hop and get knocked out the ring. Oh no, Ibuchi straight. Hey, chat, Ibuchi straight. Hey, man, Abbas, I could go fight him right now. Man, nah, he's straight. As long as he's been in shape, especially he just got out of prison too. Hopefully he was doing his little, you know what I'm saying, calisthenics and hitting that barbell on the yard. You know what I'm talking about? He'll be straight, man. Dude's 4-10 with 5 losses by KO. Yeah, he good. And he from Egypt too. Oh yeah, yeah. You know that's a West African versus North African battle right there. He finna get put in the dirt. I ain't gonna lie to you. And he's coming off a 2-loss streak, a 2-fight losers. Well, 1 fight with a draw and 2 fights with L's. Oh yeah, Bucci finna put him in the. Oh Lord, he finna get out some. He finna get out some pain and stress on a man. Yeah, he's straight. And Bucci about to be what is it? Bucci 20-0. He about to be 21-0. He's straight. But yeah, but I thought that was news. But like I said, I'm not a big advocate for these older gentlemen coming back to fight because you know I think that you know of course get your money and stuff like that, and this is a good situation, especially if he can get back on on track and man take care of his family himself and stuff like that. But at the same time, you don't want to see somebody that's good get beat by somebody he has no business losing to. You know, similar with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. The potential for Mike Tyson to lose is kind of high, and it'll be very sad. It'll be a sad day in boxing or all combat sports period and sports period for the legend icon Mike Tyson. You know, the youngest heavyweight champion ever, the youngest undisputed champion ever as well, to lose to Jake Paul. You know, and shout out to Jake Paul too because he is building the brand of boxing, and you know he's a content creator. People like to see it. But it's just, I'm not knocking Jake Paul. Get your money, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been no hater. So I'm not saying what he's doing is bad for boxing. I actually don't think it's bad for boxing. But I do think that this fight is not a good look for the recollection of legendary fighters like Mike Tyson. Like if he loses, you know, a lot of our memory is going to be messed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little selfish. You know, I will admit it's a little selfish, but, you know, for Jake is a Joe, you know, we don't want to see the pros lose to Joes. You know what I'm talking about? Shane Mosley going to mess around and find, yeah, man, Shane Mosley just fought too, Tay, right? He fought like, what, last month? That was crazy. Got Tay in the building. We got my boy Ryan Frazier, Boxing Talk Up North. In the building, man. In the building. What's good? Big members in the building, man. Appreciate that, Dub. Appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. But yeah, man. So yeah, Ike Ibuchi. I think he's gonna get the fight and he's gonna win. I just hope that this doesn't mean that he's gonna, you know, make this a trend. Maybe he'll just do a one-off, or maybe he'll beat this guy and then maybe he could fight Mike Tyson or something like that, another exhibition. But this seems like this is a professionally sanctioned fight on December 7th in Nigeria. I'm gonna try to tune in. I doubt it'll be broadcasted, but maybe they'll put it on YouTube. I don't think it'll be picked up by a big network is what I'm saying. I'm sure that it'll be broadcasted locally, you know, in Nigeria, but I don't think it'll be broadcasted internationally. But I'm gonna try to find it if I do remember. So yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you. In other news, man, in other news, now we have something about my boy Oleksandr Govzdyk, man. Oleksandr Govzdyk has just dropped some news on us, man. Dropped a hammer, dropped a bomb of an explosion with the news. Has said, hey man, you know, I was in training camp with Canelo helping him get prepared for Dmitry Bivol, you know, and I got something to say about it. What he's saying is that, hey, you know, Canelo wasn't 100%. Canelo was compromised. Canelo was injured during the fight because he had to miss a substantial amount of training time due to this injury, and the injury was his hand, which he did later on get surgery, and that's well documented. You know, after his wrist, after fighting Triple G for the 3rd time, he went and had surgery on his wrist. You know, he did undergo surgery because his wrist was messing up, and apparently, you know, we've heard Canelo say it before, not one to make excuses, but he would say, you know, I know that I wasn't 100% for that fight against Dmitry Bivol. That's why I want to run it back, and I'm confident that I could win. And now Oleksandr Govzdyk has come out, and he's corroborated with that story. He says, I was surprised about the result. Yes and no. In regards to Canelo's fight with Bivol, he said, I was helping Canelo. I think he's a very talented fighter. First of all, he had a problem in the camp. He had an injury. He had to skip a couple weeks, like a month before the fight. It was a good fight, but Canelo wasn't really 100%. He said, that's my opinion. Bivol obviously did a great job, and what happened. Now, y'all know I like old cinnamon. you know, I think Cinnamon's a beast. That's one of my favorite fighters. I think that if he's in the ring, with the exception of a very few fighters, like one or two, one of them being the GOAT, Floyd Mayweather, you know, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather, I don't really see him losing, you know. So I was surprised that he lost to Dmitry Bivol, but I wasn't mad because Dmitry Bivol's a bigger guy, you know what I'm saying? So I do think that Canelo, 95% of the time that he steps in the ring, he should and would be the favorite. You know what I'm saying? He gonna clap him up. So I was surprised when Cinnamon didn't give him the bam, boom, bang.
Eso, sí. Esto va a mamar el bicho. Esto va a mamar
However, I want to be very clear with I said all that. I love me some Cinnamon, man. That's my guy. But I don't give a gosh dang if his wrist was hurt. I don't care if he had one eye. I don't care if he had both his pinky toes injured. He wasn't gonna win that fight. Not that fight. Not with that dude. Not Dmitry Bivol. It just not. I'm just not going. You know. And I do favor. You know. I do believe him that he was 100%. But I don't care if he was 110%. You know. I'm not going. I don't like to take people's credit. You know. Especially with injury. I'm the same way with Pacquiao. Y'all know I like Pacquiao. You know I like Floyd. I'm not one of those that say, oh, if Pacquiao shoulder wasn't hurt, then he would have won. No, he probably overtrained because he was so worried about Floyd that that's what hurt his shoulder. That's just what happened. That's what transpired, man. I'm not living in a hypothetical if, you know what I'm saying? Even with Kevin Durant being injured and Klay Thompson being injured in the finals against the Kawhi-led Toronto Raptors, I'm not going. I hate when people say, oh, if Kevin Durant was there, if Klay Thompson was there, I don't know what would have happened. There's no sure thing. Maybe Kevin Durant would have been there and Klay Thompson would have been there and Steph Curry would have got hurt. Like, everybody acts like they're Doctor Strange and they have the time stone and they go back in time and they fix this and fix this, then everything is going to be 100% pristine and nothing else is going to happen. What if Canelo didn't hurt his wrist and he would have hurt his ankle? What if Bivol was hurt? According to his wife, you know, Bivol been hurt. His neck and his back, his eyes, he can't see. I cannot see. I'm legally blind. His back is hurting. His wrist is hurting. His hands are hurting. His eyes are hurting. Bivol been hurt too. You know, this is boxing. Like I said, I'm not saying, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying that Canelo is lying. I'm not saying Gvozdyk is lying. I'm saying I don't care. I'm saying that I think that Canelo, first of all, he's a beast, and you need a reason to have a rematch and believe that you could win. And I believe that he believes he could win. However, I watched that fight, and I just don't think anything happened. It's like Sergio Martinez. Everybody saw that Sergio Martinez's knee was messed up, but that's Sergio Martinez's fault. Cancel the fight. If the injury is that bad, then don't have the fight. Once you win that ring, everything's a go. You know what I'm saying? Same with Errol Spence. I believe Errol Spence could have performed better if he was 100%, but I don't think that he would have beat Terrence Crawford. I don't care if it was during the accident, after the accident, pre-accident. I'm sorry. I saw what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know that Terrence Crawford's nicked up too. I'm an athlete. Even if you're a high school, I'm not a professional athlete, but I was an athlete in high school, collegiately. I boxed amateurly. It's very seldom that you're 100% at a high level. Everybody's nicked and bruised up. LeBron hurt right now. He's 42 or however old he is. Everybody hurt, man. So now everybody's not hurt to the same extent. And I like Cinnamon, but to me, when you say things like this, and this is not Cinnamon's fault. I mean, well, you never know, man. These days, anything happen. Maybe he did slide him a little Gucci belt or a little money. You know what I'm saying? To say this, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Gvozdyk is being honest, but you know, you never know these days. But I'm saying I think this is good. You know, it gives me confidence that Canelo could do better against Bivol, but I still don't think he beats Bivol. I think stylistically, Bivol's a good matchup for him. And then not to mention the size differential. He's used to being at 175. He was even flirting and teasing with if he beat Beterbiev to potentially go up to cruiserweight. I don't want to see Canelo at cruiserweight. So a guy that's capable of going to cruiserweight at natural 175 is bigger than Cinnamon. And I don't, like I said, I maintain this, and people might get mad at me about this, but I don't think Bivol is better than Cinnamon. I don't think too many fighters are better than Cinnamon. But when you're close to the same skill level, or maybe a little bit better or a little bit less, then the size differential means a lot. So it's like, it's not the size of it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Well, what about two dogs that are the same, that are different sizes, but they have the same amount of fight in them? That's how I look at Canelo and Bivol. I think that they're both uber talented, both phenomenal fighters, but one is bigger. So yes, it's the size of the fight in the dog. If the size of the fight in the dog is way more than the size of the fight in the other dog, it don't matter if he's bigger or not. But if you have two dogs that are body like Master P, and they both have a lot of fight in them, and then one is bigger and one is smaller, one's a Chihuahua, one's a Doberman, good luck to that that Chihuahua. We gonna say night night. So come on, man. So I just think Bivol's a bigger guy, so I got to be honest with that. I don't think that I know a lot of people are gonna see that and be like, yeah, see, I knew Canelo was hurt. Yeah, okay. I'm telling you, I like Canelo, but we got to keep it funky. We got to be honest, man. They always try to discredit success. Yeah, facts. And I like I said, this is Gvozdyk. This is Oleksandr Gvozdyk who said this, right? So I don't think he's coming from a place of discredit. You know, I'm gonna be on because I don't know him, but from what I see, he seems pretty genuine, and he also gave his take on Bivol and Beterbiev and stuff like that. He doesn't seem like he has a horse in the race, but he was his sparring partner, so maybe he does like Canelo more. And you never know what side of the fence he's on when it comes to the European wars and stuff like that and the conflict. So he could be making the excuse, but I think he's telling the truth. Like I said, I don't think he's ain't lying, but I just don't think that him being 100% or 90% or 80% is why he lost. I think he lost because Bivol's better. Or in that matchup, what Bivol wife say about him? His wife is going in, Tay. His wife be going in, Tay. His wife say his neck and his back. His wife out there snitching. Wifey out there snitching, bro. I guess, man, what women? What they say in the Bible, or I don't know if it says it in the Bible. Where's that saying come for? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Gosh, leave, boy. Like, even if y'all not together, that's still the mother of your, it's still the father of your children, bro. Like, now I don't know. He could have been punching on her. I don't know, so I don't know. But it just, she looks very corny to me. And not just because she's a woman. I'm saying if it was the other way around, a dude doing that, he would look corny too. Like, bro, it's like, at one point you love that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me, I've never been married. I got ex-girlfriends, I would never, I don't even talk bad about them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even talk bad about them, no matter what they say or do. That's on them. They got to get through that. But at one point I loved them or was in love with them. Still love them. But I'm not. At one point I was in love with them. So why would you spend a substantial amount of time together? But people ain't got no loyalty. Like I said, this is a culture of, especially in America. It's a culture of being a shot culture, and everybody want to talk about everything, and people just. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got kids together, and your kids, they gonna look back and see mommy out there cheering for Bivol to get his head knocked off. by not just Beterbiev, but Canelo too. Like, well, how that look? Now you teaching them there ain't no loyalty. How that brother go? What, he got two boys, right? How that brother gonna be loyal to the other brother? If mommy and daddy ain't even loyal to each other, teaching them loyalty don't mean nothing, man. Just doing the building. What's good, brethren? He was probably just asked a question and answered it. Yeah. I don't want to. I don't know, right? Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it could be, like I said, you could have hit him off with a little side money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it seems like he was just asked a question. But I will say this though too, Ryan. What you're saying has a good point, because the platform he was asked is a Hispanic boxing platform. I believe particularly Mexican boxing platform. So it could have been set up to where, hey man, we could have asked him before, like, what you think, and then he told him, okay, man, we gonna get that on camera. It could have been something like that too. It could have been a pro Canelo platform. So I don't want to disregard or eliminate those possibilities, but I think he's being honest, man. I tend to I'm tending to be pro boxer, pro athlete, and I don't really think that he would lie, and that could be his opinion too. And you have your opinion. Like I said, I think Canelo would do better in the rematch too, because I think Canelo will adapt, and I think he's a good fighter. Saying that he adapted with Triple G, right? So I think he will adapt, and I think he could win. I don't want to say that, but I'm just saying I don't think that anything would change my mind about him losing the first fight. I don't really think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I said, even with Sergio Martinez, he came in the ring limping. I'm not gonna say, oh, if Sergio Martinez's knee was better, he would have beat Cotto. No, if his knee was better, it would have been a more pleasurable fight to watch. But I don't know how the outcome would have been. How do I know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you, Miss Cleo? Like, were you a psychic? Like, how do you know how the fight would have went? Just because Sergio Martinez wasn't injured. If Manny Pacquiao's shoulder wasn't hurt, does that mean that he automatically beats Floyd? If Sergio Martinez's knee wasn't injured, does that mean he automatically beats Cotto? If Errol Spence wasn't in a car accident, does that mean he automatically beats Terrence Crawford? If I could go on and go on and go on, because we've seen Floyd Mayweather's hands hurt and he still never lost. We've seen Tank hurt his hand against Isaac Pitbull Cruz and he still won. So people have won with injuries before. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to say that, oh, if Dmitry Bivol's neck and his back and his wife wasn't snitching, does that mean he would have beat Beterbiev? No, I'm not going to go down that road, because there's too many, you know what I'm saying? There's too many what ifs in this. And just because Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson happened to get injured during the finals against Toronto Raptors, that doesn't mean that Kawhi Leonard wouldn't have found a way to still win. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Like, people just talk so definitively about hypotheticals. It's crazy to me. So like, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it wouldn't have been better, wouldn't have been more competitive, but to say that the whole result would have changed, you got to show me. Show me your premonition. You show me your vision and your premonition, and show me your time stone, and take me back with you. Matter of fact, don't take me nowhere with you. I probably wouldn't want to go. I mean, he does put in hard work. Hey, hey, what people always say about, yeah, out there snitching, dub. Out there snitching, bro. Out there snitching.
All right, I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
But yeah, I like these stories because as a boxing fan, this will let me be able to, you know, be like, okay, bet. You know, now I know Canelo lost. Before, I'm thinking the rematch is going to go this way because how the first match went. But now I'm like, all right, bet. My boy was injured. So he probably wasn't 100%. So maybe he'll do better in the rematch. But I'm not the type of person that says, oh, he was injured, so he really would have won the first match if he wouldn't have. No, cancel it. Cancel it. I'm sorry. Cancel it. The same way, and the same, it's different, but it's the same concept, right? It's a different situation, but the same concept. It's like when somebody comes in overweight, like John Rio Casimiro against Saul Sanchez, or Ryan Garcia on Devin Haney. Once you accept the money and say, okay, I'm cool with it, whatever, let's have the fight keep going, I don't want to hear about it. But when you come in with PEDs, and that's different for Ryan Garcia, that's different. But like Saul Sanchez and John Rio Casimiro, you know, once they were cool with the weight, there was no PEDs or nothing, it was just the weight difference. I think that shows a lack of discipline, a lack of professionalism for the person that comes in overweight, you know, but it's not cheating because you accepted the terms, and once you're in the ring, you're in the ring. Now, if you have some circumstances to where you weren't, you know, it was not to your knowledge, like if you have your hands wrapped in plaster of Paris Margarito, or if you have PEDs in your system, Ryan Garcia, Julio Cesar Martinez, Conor Benn, and the rest of them, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're bringing something that wasn't accounted for, and it was unbeknownst to me, and it makes the fight illegal. You see what I'm saying? Which is why you can sue for battery, because battery by definition is the unlawful force resulting in physical harm to a person. The emphasis on unlawful. So when people say dumb shit like, oh, I signed a contract and I'm able to fight a person because this is boxing, and if I lose I can sue for battery. No, dummy, because once you sign the contract, there's nothing illegal or unlawful about a standard sports competition. You see how dumb you sound when you don't know the definitions of simple words, especially in the judicial system, but then you talk like you know what you're talking about. All you have to do is look up the word battery. All you have to do is look up the word battery. I'm gonna do it for you, because if you rock with me, I'm gonna get you right. Let's look up what battery means. Oh wow, they have a definition on Google. That's crazy. Battery is a criminal offense involving unlawful physical contact distinct from assault, which is the act of creating apprehension of such contact. So when people say he's suing for assault and battery, assault you don't even have to physically harm somebody for assault. That's why he's just suing for battery, not assault and battery. So when people say he's suing for assault and battery, they're wrong there too. Just you know, because there's a difference between assault and battery, and they don't always go together. You know, that's why they have right here assault versus battery, the differences. Right? So there's difference between assault and battery. But yeah, so the part that makes it him able to sue for battery is the fact that it's unlawful. You know, that's the emphasis. And the unlawful part is the PEDs in the system. That's what makes it unlawful. I'm not saying you got to agree with it, but please be acclimated with these words before you use them, because you look like a dumbass when you don't know the definition of simple words that you're using like you know, because battery is unlawful. What makes it unlawful, the boxing match, is not just having a boxing match. The unlawful part is having the PEDs in your system while you're undergoing a boxing match, because it's illegal according to the New York State Athletic Commission, because it's a PED, it's a banned substance. Stupid ass. I don't know, bro. Didn't Victor Conte put PEDs? Yeah, wasn't that cream? Yeah, he was hitting them with the cream. Cash rules everything around me. Hey man, he was hitting them with that cream. Hey yo.
No diddy.
No diddy. Hold on now. Yeah, that was the baby oil before the baby oil. You know what I'm talking about, Tay? But yeah. Anyway, I don't need. Oh yeah, so I went back there to all that to say that I do think Canelo may have been injured, but like I said, I don't think that's why he lost. Man, I think he lost because Bivol was a better fighter that night. He may not be the better fighter overall, and I personally don't think that he's a better fighter overall. That's why I have Canelo consistently, repeatedly, and constantly over him on my pound for pound list, because no disrespect to Bivol, but Canelo is the best opponent that Bivol has been in with up until Beterbiev, right? You can make an argument now, but before Beterbiev, right, it was clear that Canelo, even though he was a smaller guy moving up, he was still his best opposition by far. He was his most accomplished opposition, he was his most formidable opposition, and he was the best fighter he's ever fought, you know, all while being a smaller guy, you know. So Dmitry Bivol beating Canelo is not as impressive as Canelo, to me, even lasting the whole 12 rounds. The only reason why we're not impressed with that is because of Canelo's greatness. So like I say, with us as boxing fans, or just fans period, and people, even not even just sports, right? And even in academia, like when a smart person or somebody that you think is smart, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, if they make a mistake, or a political advisor makes a mistake in the world of politics, and you point it out, you're like, oh, this person's so dumb. Well, I mean, we make mistakes all the time, but what about the 95% of the times that they were right? You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because there'll be people, like, especially on YouTube, people will be wrong 85-90% of the time, and then they'll be right once 10%, and they act like they're some oracle and they're always right. No, you're just right this time. There's 80 other videos that you were wrong as hell, but you was right in 2 of them, so now you right. No, that's not how life goes, bro. It's a law of averages, bro. Are you right more than you're wrong? So like somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson, or, you know what I'm saying, or Albert Einstein or whatever, a lot of times they were right, but even you get things wrong too. You know what I'm saying? So and so, like, we'll talk about the guy or girl that misses the rebound or misses the layup when it's on crunch time, like Breonna Stewart. There was a guy in here talking trash about Breonna Stewart, oh Stewie, and he was like, and then shout out to him. I can't remember my boy's name, but I'll remember if he came through all the time. But shout out to him. He was funny though. It was cool. But he was talking about Breonna Stewart because she missed a layup that sent them to overtime, right? But what about all the countless? She's an MVP. She's a gold medalist. She's a countless time all-star. One of the greats. She's one of the top 2 players today. It's either her or Asia Wilson. But we gonna focus on the one time she misses. What about all the layups that she makes? You see what I'm saying? What about all the game winners that she hits? But we gonna focus on the ones she did because it doesn't happen often. So at some point you are a victim of your own greatness because you have high expectations. Hey, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So I want to say with Canelo, right? Canelo losing to Bivol, we're not going to focus on the facts, which the facts are that he's a smaller guy. He fights at 168. You know, he really probably should fight at 160, to be honest. That's what he looks like to me. But anyway, every fight that he's in at 168, he's a significantly smaller guy, not just from a height-wise, but a mass-wise as well. You know, but anyway, I think that we don't even see him. People talk about him losing to Bivol. You would think that Bivol was at 168, like he wasn't moving up. It's same with Terrence Crawford and Israel Madrimov, right? He's another victim of his greatness. He went up there and he won. Like, I feel like you're an idiot if you think Israel Madrimov won. No disrespect. It was a close fight, but we were more surprised and impressed how close it was than with the fact of Terrence Crawford actually losing or being in a position to where he could have potentially lost or having a threat of losing. But when people talk about that, oh, he struggled against Madrimov. Well, Madrimov was an undefeated champion in a higher weight division, and that was Terrence Crawford's debut. So he's a victim of his greatness. Any other fighter doing that, we would have applauded the hell out of him. But because Terrence Crawford's great and Canelo's great, when they lose or they struggle, not even lose, but they struggle, then we're extra hard on them. And so I say that to say that is why I clearly have Canelo over Bivol, because no disrespect to Bivol, I like Bivol a lot, but on my pound for pound list, even when he was undefeated, I had Canelo over him clearly, even though Canelo lost. Because why? Because Canelo's his best opposition, and he's a smaller fighter, number one. Number two, Canelo is the first ever undisputed at 168, not Bivol. In fact, Bivol has never even been undisputed. Number three, Canelo has been in the ring with multiple Hall of Famers, plethora, you know, Floyd, Hall of Famer, Cotto, Hall of Famer, Sugar Shane Mosley, Hall of Famer, Triple G, Hall of Famer. Do I need to go on? I mean, I'm about to lose fingers. You know what I'm saying? So he's the one that's been in there with Hall of Fame fighters. He's the one with the all-time great resume. He's the one that people talk about as potentially being the. I'm not saying he is now. Listen to me. I'm not saying he's the best from where he's from, but I'm saying he's the one in the argument of being the best Mexican fighter ever. He's considered to be in the conversation by the time his career ends as one of the best fighters from where he's from. I don't think people consider Bivol as one of the best fighters from Russia, right, or wherever he's from, you know. So I'm saying that there are different, in my opinion, they're on different wavelengths. That doesn't mean that Bivol isn't capable, when it's all said and done, to be in the same stratosphere as Canelo, but we got to put some respect on the greats, man. And right now, Terrence Crawford, great. Inoue, great. Canelo, great. Usyk, great. So when they fail or when it's a close fight, you know, well, especially when, you know, when you're American, you know, then everything's a failure. Like Terrence Crawford had 11. He was on 11 KO streak before he moved up to 154 in a new division against an undefeated champion in his debut and beat a guy. And we're focusing on the fact that he didn't stop him. What? Some people aren't on an 11 KO streak and they fight in jobbers. Some people never been on an 11 win streak. Some people ain't even win 11 fights. People are crazy, bro. Yeah, it's just wild to me, man. Yep, Esau Cruz survives with injured Tank, and people say Cruz won the fight. You feel me, Ryan? You feel me? Not because he won, not because he looked better than Tank, but because he didn't lose. Sorry, it's not even that he didn't lose. It's because he didn't get put to sleep. Like Rockabye Baby. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's different standards. I'm not saying that we can't. That's what comes with greatness. Like I said, heavyweight's the head that wears the crown. But at the same time, yeah, LeBron lost a lot of finals. But LeBron also made it to a lot of finals in order to be in a position to lose a finals. I'm not saying that LeBron, I think Jordan's better than LeBron. You know, I'm a Jordan guy, so don't get twisted. What I'm saying is sometimes we focus on the wrong things because people are so great that we make them a victim of their greatness. We still got to appreciate things too, man. Gosh, dang, boy. I don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying celebrate. I'm not saying give out participation points. You know, nothing like that. And a lot of them are millionaires, but there's a lot of boxers that aren't millionaires, and we be critiquing them crazily too. It's like I said, David Benavidez, to me, David Benavidez right now should be one of the most celebrated boxers ever, you know, especially right now, because like I said, I'll scream it from the mountaintops. David Benavidez fighting David Morrell makes no gosh dang sense. That risk severely outweighs the reward, and if that risk doesn't match the reward or it's close to it, then you don't need to be fighting, because it is a business, and I don't think people should lose track of that. However, I salute David Benavidez and David Morrell because I really love this fight. They're doing it strictly for the fans, because David Morrell doesn't have a belt. I mean, not a real belt, right? Because Beterbiev, no disrespect, I shouldn't say a real belt, but he doesn't have a full super belt. He has an interim belt, you know, and Beterbiev has all the belts at light heavyweight, right? And David Benavidez, you know, him beating Morrell doesn't really do anything, because David Benavidez is the #1 ranked opponent in his sanctioning body for a chance at Beterbiev, just like David Morrell. So this fight, it's really inconsequential to where Benavidez is trying to go, and that's to fight Beterbiev, right? So he doesn't have to do it. He's really only doing it for the fans. So shout out to David Benavidez. Shout out to guys like Errol Spence. Shout out to guys like Jermaine Bad Intentions Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Guys who just will fight anybody at any given time, at any given moment. You know, I think Terrence Crawford's like that too, but Terrence Crawford's being a little more particular with the fights that he takes, because he's focused on making it as lucrative as possible, in addition to legacy, and he deserves that. He's older, on his way out, and he acknowledges that. And shout out to him for being, you know, being a smart, intelligent dude, man. So I can't knock these fighters. Like Terrence Crawford also fought a lot of people. It's not his fault that you don't recognize the greatness of Victor Postal, who was an undefeated champion when he beat him. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that you don't recognize his greatness when he beats Kell Brook, another champion, or Sean Porter, another champion, or Errol Spence was a pound-for-pound fighter, or what's the other guy's name? Jeff Horn, after Jeff Horn coming off and beating the legend Pacquiao. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Yeah, selective. Thank you. Selective was the word I looked for. Thank you. He's being very selective, and I don't think there's a problem with that. You know, he earned that right. So it's not his fault that you don't recognize a lot of the fighters that he beat. Or even Yuriorkis Gamboa, and Gamboa was the boogeyman of boxing. You know, everybody was calling him Little Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying, Little Iron Mike, and Terrence Crawford beat him. It's not his fault that you don't pay attention to boxing enough to recognize the dangers of some of the fighters that he beat, and you're just very limited to your one simple perspective of a recent boxing fan, and your first time seeing Terrence Crawford was against Errol Spence, and you want to knock him because it's his fault that Errol Spence got in a car accident. I love Errol Spence. I actually like Errol Spence more than I like Terrence Crawford, but I love boxing more than I like both of them, and you're not gonna trick me into discrediting these fighters that put everything on the line in front of millions to fight. And a lot of people like Kenshiro Anaguchi, I believe. Is it Kenshiro Anaguchi? Last name Anaguchi, who passed away in the ring from giving us a potential Fight of the Year candidate. He died. He was only 23 years old, Japanese fighter. He died in January, right? And there was no PEDs involved. There was nothing involved. It was just two guys scrapping it out, and he passed away. So it's a very dangerous sport, you know what I'm saying? That's just one example. What about my boy what's my boy's name? He paralyzed right now. What's my guy's name, man? Pritchard Colon, right? What about Pritchard Colon? You know what I'm saying? What about Adonis Superman Stevenson? After we were just talking about Oleksandr Govzdyk, Adonis he suffered brain damage. He still hasn't fully recovered, chronic brain damage. His life has changed forever, you know, and he was undefeated. He was not undefeated. Sorry, he lost to he lost. That was his second loss. I think he lost to Darnell Boone, but he avenged that loss against Darnell Boone, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up and make sure I'm not lying to y'all. I think Adonis Stevenson lost to Darnell Boone, and then avenged that loss. Yeah. Bro, I'm a beast. I'm a beast with this boxing stuff. But yeah, he lost to Darnell Boone, and then he avenged that loss. Yep. And then he lost to Oleksandr Govzdyk, but then he suffered brain damage. So things happen. He said, my guy Kent in the building. Amir Khan, talk to him, Ryan Frazier. Yeah. Amir Khan is trash though, right? Amir Khan, you know what's funny? Amir Khan is only good when somebody's trying to make it. It depends on the argument people are making. Like Amir Khan is only good. And what my boy George say? Selective. We are selective when we say Amir Khan is good. If we try to say how good somebody else is, and we try to use Amir Khan as a benchmark or count him as somebody that's notable on somebody's resume, then he's good. But when we just talk about Amir Khan, you know, Amir Khan go from good. Amir Khan is the most the man's like a chameleon, bro, when it comes to his boxing skills. Like sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad, sometimes he's mediocre. So it's funny, bro. My boy Technique in the building. One round with George in the building. That's who that is right there, chat. So this face right here beside me, that's George right there, man. My first interviewee on my channel, man. Shout out to George. He's always will be in the annals and the rafters of BTF, man. Boxing Talk family, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Boxing Talk, DBT. Shout out to Just Do. Salute Dar Benavidez versus Morrell. Helps them both resume and legacy wise. I agree, Ken. So I'm saying it helped. See, okay, so I'm gonna get back to that, Ken, because I agree with you. Contingent on the performance in their first fight could be a trilogy in the future. Okay, so yes, I agree. When I say that it doesn't make sense, I'm saying there's nothing at stake. There's no incentive for David Benavidez. Benavidez could get the. Let me show you the rankings. I can show you, but I can tell you. So maybe if I show you and I explain what I'm saying, then it could push the point that I'm trying to make. So, look, this is what I want to show you right here. Look at this, Kent. You have a good point, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand what you're saying. But look, Beterbiev is undisputed. Beterbiev. Joshua Buatsi is the interim champion. That means he has a shot at Beterbiev. Nobody's at the IBF. David Morrell is the regular champion. That means he has a shot at Beterbiev. David Benavidez, WBC interim champion. That means he has a shot at Beterbiev. So he has already expressed that he wants to fight Beterbiev. He has no need to fight David Morrell. And let me show you something else, right? So it's a great fight, and I love it. But let me tell you this, right? David Morrell has 11 fights. My point is this. It's not that David Morrell's not good. You could be good and have one fight. You could be good and have two fights and then get put in a championship fight against Orlando Salido and lose, and people try to wipe it away from the history of boxing. You know who I'm talking about, Lomachenko. But just in case you didn't know who I'm talking about. But anyway, yes, you're right. It's good for their legacy if David Morrell goes on and does something. So right now, like you said, it's contingent on their performances. Yes, particularly on David Morrell's performance, it's contingent on David Morrell if he loses and looks good elsewhere. But if David Benavidez just beats David Morrell and David Morrell goes on to not accomplish anything, we're going to forget that he beat David Morrell. Let's not fool ourselves now. We think David Morrell is good because we think David Morrell is good, not because he's proven that he's good. So I think anybody would struggle to name 3 people that David Morrell beat off the top of their head without referencing Google or Boxing Rec, right? So that's my point. So yes, it's a good fight because we see David Morrell as a good fighter. He didn't really look too great in his debut against Hot Rod Kalazic at 175, but neither did Benavidez. But I think Oleksandr Govzdyk, being a former champion, it's more acceptable to not look great against Govzdyk than it is to not look great against Kalazic, you know, in my personal opinion. But it was both their debuts, so I thought it was good enough. You get the job done, you get your feet wet, acclimated with the new weight class. I'm cool with it. But to say that David Benavidez it's good for his legacy, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that he doesn't need to fight David Morrell to get the Beterbiev fight. He just needs to hold his position. He could fight anybody here and hold his position. He could fight Junior Menendez. He could fight Ben Whitaker with the funky foot. He could fight Imam Kataev. He could fight who he already fought, Ronald Gavril. He already fought Gavril. Actually, in fact, Ronald Gavril is the guy that dropped Benavidez. He could fight Richard Rivera. You see what I'm saying? He could fight Dan Aziz. He could fight Paul Stepien. He does not have to fight David Morrell. So my point is, the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because I think it's important, because we always get mad that the fighters say, oh, they don't give the fans the fights that we want. Well, David Benavidez is doing that right now, so I think he should be applauded. You know, I'm talking about salute to Dave Benavidez. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that the fight shouldn't happen. Please, I'm happy for this fight. I want it to happen. So shout out to David Morrell. Shout out to David Morrell for accepting it, and shout out to Dave Benavidez for seeking that fight. You know, because initially he was supposed to fight Jesse Hart, right, which would have been a good fight to me. I know a lot of people were underselling Jesse Hart too, but Jesse Hart, he had a great fight with Gilberto Ramirez, Zurdo, right? So he was gonna fight him. I think that would have been a challenge, you know. But he said, no, I'm gonna fight David Morrell because I'm not gonna do what people accuse Cinnamon of doing. They accuse the Cinnamon of avoiding Dave Benavidez. He's saying, hey man, there's no cap in my rap. There's no hypocrisy in my name. I'm gonna do what I want Canelo to do in regards to me. I'm gonna do it for David Morrell because Dave Morrell is literally on his heels. As much as Dave Benavidez chasing Cinnamon, David Morrell chasing Benavidez, because there's no coincidence that David Benavidez moved up, Morrell moved up. You know, so I like this fight. I think it's great. I be honest with you, I kind of had Morrell winning at one. It's funny because if this fight happened at 168, I had Benavidez, but once they moved to 175, man, I just feel like even though David Benavidez looked a little better to me than David Morrell in their 175 debut, I just feel like David Morrell's physique is more suitable for 175 in my personal opinion. So I'm giving the edge to David Morrell right now. However, David Benavidez definitely has the edge in experience, accomplishments. He fought the better fighters. He beat Caleb Plant, beat Boo Boo Andrade, and some others, you know what I'm saying? And Morrell just doesn't have the experience like that. But I think that I personally believe from what I've seen that David Morrell's body type is more fit for 175 than Benavidez, in my personal opinion. If I was Morrell manager, I'll give him another year. Yeah, 26 is still young to be, could be the last man standing. Right. I follow Doc. I agree. I appreciate it, Ken. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wasn't saying, so I agree with you 1,000%. I just, but yeah, I appreciate it, bro. If Amir Khan had a legacy, it was Tarnish versus Bud for that. Oh, when he quote unquote quit. Yeah, that's a good way to tarnish your reputation and legacy, is to look like you quit in a fight. Jesse Hart didn't want that smoke. He knew Benavidez would beat him easily. I don't know about easily. I'm not gonna discredit Jesse Hart, but you could be right. I don't know. I can't fight too much for Jesse Hart on that one, Moda. But Moda in the building. I would definitely have Benavidez winning, but I wouldn't say easily for me. But maybe, you know, Jesse Hart hasn't been in the ring for a little minute, right? So yeah, you could be right, bro. Dmitry Andre be beating up Hart and sparring, and Hart picked Andre to beat Benavidez. Okay. Morrell lack of boxing skills is going to be exposed, so I agree. Get them when they green. Facts, and that's going to also point to what my boy Cinnamon didn't do. So I want to be very clear. I think I'm not one of those that feel compelled to pick a side. Like I said, I like boxing. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. I want him to fight Benavidez, and I think Benavidez deserves it. And I think Canelo would beat Benavidez, but I don't dislike David Benavidez because I like Benavidez. I don't get why people feel like in order to praise one, you got to knock the other. I like Benavidez and Canelo. In fact, Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters, but Canelo is my favorite fighter. Him and Tank right now. And Jesse Hart and Andre, the brothers. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that at all. That's news to me. Yeah, I didn't know that. Doc and Just Do going against Benavidez. Wait, where Just Do got Cinnamon as well? Oh, you talking about David Morrell? I didn't know Just Do got David Morrell too. I didn't know that. Yeah, man, that's my guy right there, man. We see a lot of the same things. Sometimes we differ too, but that's okay. Yeah. I didn't know he had David Morrell too. That's crazy. I thought I was a lone shark picking David Morrell. But I'm hoping. I'm be honest. I'm hoping. I have David Morrell winning. But I'm hoping Benavidez, I think it'll be better for Benavidez because, like, was it Kent said it? Like Kent said, is like, or was it? It might have been Tay. The fact that Dave Morrell is young, I think will be easier for him to bounce back from the loss. I'm just saying from a selfish boxing fan, you know. I'm saying that I think it'll be better for Benavidez to win because I'd rather see Benavidez versus Beterbiev than Morrell versus Beterbiev right now, number one. But number two, I think Benavidez's reputation will be hurt more than Morrell's because, like I said, Morrell only has 11 fights. You know what I'm saying? He has to have a great, you know, he's coming from the Cuban boxing background, so he's great in that aspect, of course, has that great pedigree in him. But I think that, for me, selfishly, I think Benavidez winning is better for boxing because it opens the door for, you know, that Canelo fight still there, potentially, which probably not going to happen, but still a possibility, right? As slight as it is. Then you have the Beterbiev fight. And then Morrell loses, Morrell could still go fight Joshua Buatsi. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I'll be interested if, or even Anthony Yard, you know what I'm saying? Which I'll be interested in those fights for Benavidez as well. But, you know, I think Benavidez, in my opinion, where he's at, he's more deserving of a big shot than David Morrell, in my personal opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I think Canelo will beat him like he did Munguia. I agree, Tay. I actually think he beats him to the body. I think he beats Benavidez to the body, in my personal opinion. I've always felt that way. But like I said, I could be wrong. I think I could see a path of victory for Benavidez either. Don't get it twisted. I definitely, just because I picked Canelo, does not mean that I'm not aware of Benavidez's threat as well. I could see a path of victory for Benavidez too. I just have Cinnamon beating him. It's like Cinnamon and Crawford, right? I think Crawford is a phenomenal fighter. You can't count him out. I think he has a great chance of winning, but you know, it's a testament to his greatness why I think he can even hang with a guy potentially that's 168. You know, he's only just debuted at 154. But I still see Crawford as a 147 pounder, 147, like our English brethren would say. But because Crawford's so great, I think he does have a chance. I could see a path of victory for him against Cinnamon, but Cinnamon is great too, and he's bigger, and he's been all the way up to 175. So I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford can't outpoint him, but I challenge anybody to show me a fight, including Errol Spence, that destruction. Show me a fight, even Israel Madrimov. Show me a fight that Terrence Bud Crawford fought in, that participated in, competed in. Tell me a fight that he was included in to where he did not engage and enjoy the engagement. He's a fighter. That's why we like him. What do we call him? We say he's a dog. Why do we say he's a dog? Because he fights. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. When Gamboa hit him hard, he bounced back with the hard hits himself. When he found out he was down, or his corner told him he was down, he hulked up and rushed Sean Porter and put him on his ass. If you watch the fight between him and Errol Spence, there was times that Errol Spence got to Terrence Crawford on the ropes. He put him on the ropes. So there's notion that, yeah, Terrence Crawford, we have selective memory and we think about certain spots. Sometimes we're all guilty of it, right? But Errol Spence got to Terrence Crawford. That was not the problem. The problem was that when he got to him, the significance of the punches were way less than we anticipated. that was the problem. The damage wasn't there, you know, but he got to him. So imagine Canelo gets to Terrence Crawford. That's what I'm saying. Now, is Canelo flat-footed slightly? Yeah, but I think people exaggerate how flat-footed he is. I think people discredit and forget about his exceptional head movement, his upper body movement from the waist up, his upper torso. He has great body movement, head to shoulder movement. And like I said, Terrence Crawford likes to fight. So that's why I think Canelo beats him. But it's not because, just because I haven't seen Terrence Crawford do it doesn't mean he can't outpoint somebody. I think Terrence Crawford in that squared circle, I think he can do whatever he wants to do. I think he's a beast. I think he's that phenomenal. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be an all-time great. I think he is an all-time great right now. I don't think you have to retire for somebody to be declared as an all-time great. So I think that Terrence Crawford could accomplish anything he wants to do in that boxing ring. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does outpoint him, and I think that would be his path to victory. But I've never seen him do that before. Not that he's incapable. I've never seen him demonstrate that, and I don't see why that would happen now. You know, with him being 37 years old, and you know, which is not old in life, but in the boxing ring, you're definitely not speeding up, you're slowing down, even if it's slightly, right? And Canelo, even though he's older when it comes to ring mileage, in boxing terms, Canelo's older with 60 plus fights, but he is still 4 years his junior, right? 33, right? So I think a lot of that stuff plus the size differential will come into play, and I do think that Cinnamon is that Bud is slightly more skilled than Canelo, but I don't think their slight disparity in skill in favor of Bud is enough to overcome the large disparity in size in favor of Canelo. I know people say, oh, they're the same height. Well, you know, like I always go back to, the largest land animal is not a giraffe because he's the tallest. The largest land animal is an elephant because of the mass, right? And the girth, pause. That girth, you heard me. Hey, yo.
No, did he?
So, you know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford and Bud being the same, Bud and Canelo being the same height, would you ever expect to see Bud at light heavyweight? Because that's where Canelo did. Canelo's been the light heavyweight, so he's been there, and they're the same height. So just because you're the same height doesn't mean that you're the same size, right? Or you're necessarily smaller. I mean, we just seen Rafael Espinoza, who's a champion at 126 featherweight. He's 6'1". Does he belong at 168 because he's taller than Canelo? What does he belong at 175 because he's the same size as freaking, I don't know, almost the same size as Bivol? What are we doing? That it's not just on. It's just funny how people conveniently use terms in their favor when they're trying to manipulate or control a narrative. Like, what's the name? What's my boy Sebastian Fundora? He's like 6'6". He don't belong in the NBA or the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? He belong where he's at 154. Like, so this notion that that size is a one-dimensional metric is crazy. It's 3 dimensions in length, width, and height, not just height. It's a 3-dimensional concept. Plant and Boo Boo have a common opponent. One of them got stopped, the other didn't. Hey, that's true. Shout out to Sweet Hands Plant. That's a fact, hey. That's a fact. Shout out to Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. He did get stopped by Canelo though. And Canelo stopped him before David Benavidez beat him. One of them was winning till they gassed. The other was never winning. That's a good point. In the interview with Sean Zattel, Plant said it. So why they ain't pushing Plant to fight Andre? Reporters need to start knowing Andre. Start throwing Andre in there. Yeah, I think Andre has to bounce back. And I don't think that bounce back would be too difficult either. Because like you said, David Benavidez is not even in 168 anymore, and he's good enough to be successful at 175. So that loss, in retrospect, doesn't look so bad. Right? It doesn't look so bad to me, at least. I know a lot of people who don't like Andre or don't know him will say, oh, he has one loss. It's so funny. The people that claim that they don't care about losses, that they don't want the fighters to cuff their O, are the same people that will be quick to give up on a fighter because they have lost their O and they have one loss. That's funny, right? Contradictory at its finest, bro. The hypocrisy amongst boxing fans is crazy. They'll be the same exact ones that say, oh, I want this fighter to fight anybody and not care about their O. But then as soon as a fighter loses, Errol Spence, as soon as a fighter loses, Caleb Plant, as soon as a fighter loses, Devin Haney, who didn't even really legitimately lose, as soon as they lose, we're done with them, right? Oh, okay. But you're the same person saying that, oh, it doesn't matter if they're not undefeated. All of a sudden, Boo Boo Andre's not good anymore, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Just saying, the hypocrisy is real, man. That's why I'm always an advocate for the fighters to do what they want. I'm not saying that I like it. I do. I'm a boxing consumer as well. I have my boxing fandom. I wear it on my chest and my sleeve. I love it. I love the good fights, but at the same time, you know, when people say, "Oh, we want Shakur and Tank to fight," but then we're okay with 2 guys not fighting because they're Ukrainian. Well, they're from the same country. Last time I checked, Tank and Shakur are from the same country. Then, hey, let's do the same thing, man. You know what I'm saying? If 2 Ukrainians don't have to fight, then why do 2 Americans have to fight? I'm just saying. Like, if that's a plausible and acceptable reason not to fight because you're countrymen, well then, hey, I mean, yeah. If Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury coming up as prospects together, being champions together, being from the same country together, and they haven't fought for 20 years, why are we mad at Tank and Shakur? I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking. I'm just curious. I mean, look how long Junto Nakatani and Takuma Inoue were in the same division as champions. They didn't unify. In fact, nobody at 118 pounds, which is bantamweight, nobody has unified there. They have 4 champions. Seiya Susumi, who just beat Takuma Inoue, Junto Nakatani, Ryosuke Nishida, and Takichi Yoshiki Takei. Where's all the crying for them to unify? Because people act like boxing stops if there's no unifications, you know. But everybody wanted Brian Norman Jr., who just recently got a championship as an underdog against Giovanni Santillan in his first 12-round fight, and he only had 2 10-round fights. Everybody wanted him to unify against Boots, right? Because there's nobody else in the boxing world that could fight. You know, it's crazy. It's just funny the rules that are applied to certain people and not everybody else. It's crazy. It's crazy. Tufo, my guy. Because they had war, hey, Tufo, that's possible. That's possible. I'm not going, but that's possible. That's good. You know, we can always find reasons, right? We can always find reasons, and that's a good reason, though. Shout out to Tufo in the building. But you know who's not at war? England. You know who didn't fight? Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. What about that one? They at war in Manchester. The last war they had was Chelsea versus Man U. That's the last war they had. The last war they had was when the Chelsea soccer team was going against Wayne Rooney and Manchester United. Come on, bro. So nah, it's like, I'm not saying that we didn't want the AJ versus Fury. We wanted it, but we're not acting like the world's gonna end if they don't fight, because they haven't fought for the duration of their very long career and successful careers. You know, they haven't fought. So that could be applicable to Ukraine and Lomachenko and Denis Berinchyk. It's not applicable to England. You know what I'm saying? Or the other countries, you know, say where or Japan. Like I said, Junto Nakatani and Takuma Inoue, who I think Junto Nakatani will beat Takuma Inoue, Naoya Inoue, and Koki Inoue. He might go beat the granddaddy too if he acts stupid. You know, I think Junto Nakatani beats the Inoues in my personal opinion. I do like him that much. However, once again, they're not acting like boxing stops if they don't get a unification. I love unifications too. You know what I'm saying? But where's the pressure for Teofimo Lopez to unify? We're okay with him calling out Terrence Bud Crawford, who's 2 divisions above him, and calling out Tank suddenly when he's 1 division below him when he's already occupied. Teofimo suddenly has the nuts to call out somebody, but he doesn't want to fight Liam Paro, Jose Valenzuela, or Alberto Puello. Where's that same energy? Don't we want people to unify? I thought we wanted unifications. What about at cruiserweight? There's 4 champions there. Noel McCallan, Gilberto Ramirez, and CBS, Chris Billiam Smith. They're actually fighting November 16th, so that's dope for unification. And then the other 4th champion is Jay Alpataya, right? When we talk about Jay Alpataya potentially going up to heavyweight or potentially fighting the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol in their rematch, but where's the pressure for Jay Alpataya to unify? He's not unified. There's 4 different belts there, but we're talking about him fighting heavyweights. Or fighting the light heavyweight undisputed champion in a smaller division. But where's the pressure for him to unify? I thought we wanted Boots to unify with Brian Norman Jr. I thought we wanted those unifications, right? It's crazy, bro. There's no consistency. Good point, Doc. People forget Top Rank wanted a reason to cut ties with Brian. Thank you, Tay. Thank you, Tay. You see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because he was the severe underdog when he beat Giovanni Santillan in his hometown of San Diego or San Francisco. I don't remember where Santillan's from. Definitely from Cali, though. I don't remember if it was... No, it might have been... It was a San something. It was either San Antonio, Texas, San Diego, California, or San Francisco. He from one of them Sans. Yeah. He definitely American from... I want to say San... I don't know. He from somewhere, one of them states. He said Jose Benavidez got boo-boo over Jamal Charles. That's why they fight got canceled. Oh, wow. In the green room? All right, bet. I'll pull you up, Oscar. Give me like maybe like 5 minutes. I'll pull you up. But yeah, so he was a severe underdog, So yeah, Brian Norman Jr. is not supposed to be there. It's just so funny how everybody wanted to force him into a unification. It's like, bro, have some patience. The man's what, 22 years old, 23 years old, whatever he is. It's like, bro, let me pull up Brian Norman's thing, bro. Just so y'all don't think I'm capping, bro. Look at Brian Norman's record, bro. This is the guy that we were so mad about, trying to rush him into a unification, say, oh, he needs to do this. Yes, he has 26 wins, yes. But look, Giovanni Santillan, 12 round. That's his first 12 rounder, bro. 2 fights before that, he was in an 8 rounder, bro. So 8 rounders, 6 rounders, 4 rounders. This is the guy who is 23 years old, who had his first 2 10-rounders, and one of them was a no contest, by the way, against Boca Chica, which a lot of us think he was losing up until that point. This is the guy that we so desperately want to see. We were acting like the world was ending if he didn't fight Boots. Mario Barrios was at 147 for a lot longer than Brian Norman, right? He was a champion. In fact, Mario Barrios is the most decorated champion at 147. And I like Mario Barrios. I think Mario Barrios would fight Boots. But I'm okay. And I believe Mario Barrios and his team and his coach, Bob Santos, when they say we weren't offered enough money to take the risk of fighting Boots. Because I believe that the risk should match the reward. Because this is their job. Don't you want to get compensated appropriately for doing your job? So I was okay with Barrios saying, hey, man, we didn't get enough money because they said that the offer wasn't good enough. Right? Oh, coincidentally, the same thing Brian Norman said. And then also Stanionis, who's another champion. He came out and said, I was offered Boots. I said I would fight Boots 2 years ago. He said the offer wasn't good. I believed him. And then he came out recently and said, they sent me another offer and the offer was trash. I didn't even entertain it. I believe him. Because I don't think that these fighters would really lie. And I don't really think that they're scared of each other, but they want to be compensated appropriately as every working person should. So I was okay with Stanionis saying that Boots wasn't offered enough. So 2 other champions besides Brian Norman said that he wasn't offered enough. But then, get this, when Brian Norman says, hey, man.
No, did he?
When Brian Norman comes out and says, hey, man, I want more money because I wasn't offered enough. Everybody's in an uproar. Oh, no. All of a sudden, everybody's a negotiator. Everybody knows how to write contracts. Everybody's a boxing manager. Everybody knows Brian Norman, and this is the fight that they always want to see. There was so much excessive pressure. It was excessive amounts of pressure on Brian Norman for saying the same exact thing that Mario Barrios has said and Stanionis has said, that we weren't getting the compensation that we were seeking. But all these all these audacious buffoons come out and telling people how much they're worth, and they're all of a sudden you know how much a fighter's value is, not only at present time but in their future. It was crazy, bro. Like I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know if it's easier to attack American fighters, easier to attack black fighters, easier to attack young fighters. I don't know what it is, but it's just funny that people are so vocal about attacking certain fighters from certain places that look a certain way, but when it comes to other fighters, the same considerations, they just okay. And I'm not talking about just people that don't look like them too. It mostly comes from the people that look like them. It's crazy, bro. You got to normalize just being, at least be consistent. I'm not saying you can't complain and want the Brian Norman fight, but you should have wanted them. You should have been going harder for Barrios versus Boots because he was the longer standing champion. He's been there longer without a unification. So is Stanionis. So why are you going so hard on Brian Norman, who just recently acquired the championship as a severe underdog in his first 12-round fight at 23 years old, but you letting Barrios slide for not fighting Boots, or you letting Stanionis slide for not fighting Boots? It's crazy, bro. I don't know. But anyway, he said it because they cheated Boo Boo. All right, let me bring up my boy. I'm done off my rant now. My bad. You know I got to get my rant in. You feel me? You know I got to get my rant in. My boy Oscar in the building. Yes, sir. My brother, mi hermano. What's good?
What's good?
How that tooth feeling, man?
Feeling better. Feeling
Let's
good
go.
today. Finally, drink some coffee.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get right.
I need my cafeína.
Hey, cafe. Hey, how was the weather for you, man? I saw Tech Dumb Dad. He put in the Discord. You know, we said some prayers up for our Oklahomies. You know, I like that. I never heard that term before. But he was saying that there was getting a lot of severe weather, a lot of inclemency and stuff like that. How's the weather for you and your farm and stuff and your family?
Well, it rained at 4 yesterday, and the day before Sunday and Monday it was pouring. Like my whole driveway was flooded. And then at work, they had to take to a shelter because there was a tornado like 15 minutes away from where I work.
Damn. I'm glad you're
Yes,
all right,
sir.
man. Glad the crib's okay. And the animals and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
It's nothing to worry about. It's just tornadoes.
Yes, sir. He said nothing to worry about, just tornadoes. It's crazy. Hey, my boy Oscar a gangster, man. Oh, boy, that was one of the most gangster things I heard, man. Nothing to worry about, just tornadoes. What's good though, man? What's good, bro?
Man, I just gotta add up to this what you were saying about Brian Norman. Like nobody's putting pressure on Boots and not even Boots, just Barrios and Stanionis.
Thank you, bro.
Stanionis.
Yep.
But man, like the guy, we all know, like you were saying like just now, people say they don't care about O's. People say that the O's not important now because reality has taken over.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same guy Tim Bradley was saying that he was going too fast in his development, aka Brian Norman, taking on Antilla because that guy he's still a threat, you know?
He's still a threat, bro. I think he can bounce back. You know, but what happened though? He lost that O, so everybody forgot about him. That's how it goes, bro.
And then Brian Norman, they were like, "Oh no, Brian Norman, you should bet on yourself. This is the best fight of 147. You're gonna take no repercussion. This is the best fight to make. This is the duck of the history, the duck of the century. This fight is the fight of the century. We should make it happen." But what happened? Like, it's a no game for nobody. For nobody.
Facts.
Nothing but the fans, you know, the fight is good. If the fight is good, then we're the only ones that win. Because Boots, Brian Norman's he only fought one 12-rounder.
Yep.
He upset Antilla where he really shouldn't have won that.
Yep. He would have lost to Boca Chica if the no contest, which I agree. He was losing that fight. But all that stuff will come up then, you know. Oh, we lost you, Oscar.
And then Brian Norman,
there you go.
if he
Okay.
does lose this, no. I said Brian Norman, if he does lose it, then guess what? He becomes another one of the bunch.
Yep.
He ain't worth the fuck.
Nope. We knew he got lucky. He got lucky against against Giovanni Santillo. It was just luck.
Oh yeah, he shouldn't have upset him.
Yep.
Santillo was weight trained.
Yep.
Weight trained.
Yep. He really should have lost to Boca Chica. Boca Chica should have stopped him.
Yeah, facts.
Everything's gonna come up, bro.
Yeah,
Everything, bro. Everything, bro.
And
It's
then
like-
Boots. Oh my God, can you imagine if Boots loses?
Oh, if Boots
How
loses,
dare
he's
this
done.
motherfucker- How dare
Oh,
him shit?
you skipping
take-
out. You skipping out, Oscar. We lost you for
Oh,
a
no.
couple seconds.
Y'all hear me now?
Yep.
1, 2, check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, you're good.
All right, but if Boots loses, that'd be the worst thing that could happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer the best fighter at 147.
Nope.
Everybody be saying that he has no reason to be calling out Bud.
Yep.
Bud will run circles around this guy.
Yep.
He shouldn't
Yep.
fight Mario Barrios because he runs circles around this guy.
Yeah.
Because Brian Norman beat him.
My boy preaching right now.
No, it's just facts, man. Even like Morrell and Benavidez. Benavidez shouldn't even have taken that fight, but I appreciate Benavidez for taking that
I'm
fight.
telling you,
I do think it's one of the best fights to be made too.
Facts.
At that weight division.
Facts.
But
Shout out to Benavidez, man. That fight is spectacular, bro.
But you ain't lying when you say when you're saying that the weight doesn't match the reward at all.
No. Nope.
At all.
Nope. There's no need for him to fight him.
The guy is not a champion. Well, not a super champion.
Right.
You don't have the record or the resume
Nope.
to back him up.
Nope.
If Benavidez was to lose this fight, which I'm leaning towards Morrell for some reason, I just think it's
Me too. I hope I'm wrong. I'm leaning toward Morrell.
Hey, and I'm just leaning for him because his physique looked way better than Benavidez. Benavidez, it was a heavyweight, and he still looked drained. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, his arms looked drained.
Yeah. He looked
And
very
Morrell is
soggy in the
super.
body. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Morrell is taking this weight change a lot better than Benavidez.
Yep.
And I think, I don't think he lacks boxing skills. I just think Benavidez is just that much better than Morrell. But, what was I saying? But yeah, if Benavidez loses, oh my God, World War III.
Yeah.
Head on.
Yeah.
This is why Canelo didn't fight him. He was
Right.
trash.
Right.
He was just overrated.
Yep. Yep. This is the guy you wanted to fight Canelo. It's like, bro, like that's a
Yeah.
good fight, bro. Like, I like I said, I have Canelo winning because I like Canelo more, but I really like Dave Benavidez. I don't understand why people don't like him. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's nothing for me unless you know what I'm saying. Unless a couple times he missed weight or the cocaine, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying. That could show a lack of discipline. So if you're a stickler for the sport and you thought he demonstrated some unprofessionalism, then I get it. But as far as what he says, how he talks, what he's about that life to fight, the fights he's trying to make, the fights he's pursuing, what he's doing now, especially not letting himself get stuck in one spot for chasing Canelo. He's moving on with his career, which I think he could have his own career and formulate his own, create his own path and form his own legacy with or without Canelo. I think he's that good. So I like that he's doing now. But
I think
he's doing
Benavidez had that same option. It's just
yeah,
Benavidez is in a little bit tougher situation because he that's how he made his name.
yeah, I agree. He did it for a long time. So
Kind of like Ryan Garcia. You remember Ryan Garcia when he was tongue out Tank? He was
Yep.
tongue out Tank, and
yep,
that's where that came from. I didn't want to see that fight.
yep,
I didn't even think when the fight did happen, Ryan was in the same level as Tank.
right. I
It's
agree.
just that everybody was pushing him because Ryan, one, he's very present in social media, especially at that time,
Yep,
and two, he will call him out every fight he'll have, even Twitter, Instagram, he'll call him out.
Yeah.
Tank scared, or I don't want to disappoint the fans with Tank and all this and that carried him, that gave him momentum. The fight happened, he got his ass whooped, he quit, and yeah.
yeah, but I agree. There's some fights that are more hype than deserving, you know. But I definitely think that Benavidez is on the more deserving side. So I agree with you 1,000%. And
Benavidez got a handicap. He can't dunk anybody.
oh yeah, he
cannot
definitely.
dunk
Oh, no,
anybody.
he can't dunk nobody. That's one thing I will say. He can't. I can't even think he ducking, because if I think he ducking, then he's hypocritical. So that
Yeah.
you can't even think about ducking nobody. I don't care if somebody show up at your doorstep tomorrow. You better fight him.
Yeah.
You better fight him. You
Yeah.
can't duck
So
nobody.
then he just looks hypocritical, and I think that is just like, oh, you were criticizing Canelo, and you're doing the same shit. That you can't drive him down.
Right. I agree with that 1,000%, man. So what fight are you looking forward to? Switching gears a little bit. What fight are you looking forward to this weekend, man? We got some fights coming up, man, on Friday and Saturday. Good Lord willing. The 8th and the 9th. Friday we have Keyshawn versus Gustavo Lemos. Brian Norman would have been on this undercard against Derek Cuevas, but he injured himself. That fight's been rescheduled to March, good Lord willing. And then we have Saturday. Oh, we have a fire card. We have Boots versus Karen Chukadzian rematch. Bam versus Guevara. Khalil Ko, I can't remember who he's fighting. He's the big stepper. I'm excited to see him. Ray Ford, I know the name. I should know the name. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. I just saw it too. Ray Ford's fighting to make his return. Emma Williams, or Tiger Williams, excuse me. Austin Tiger Williams now making his return. So that's a pretty good card, man. I know I'm missing somebody else.
I want to pick Bam Rodriguez.
You like that chat with Bozo picture? I appreciate it, bruh. Doc, who you vote for? I voted early. I voted for Kamala Trump for president and Donald Harris for VP.
America is having a gender reveal party.
Yeah, facts. I just mixed it up, bro. Nah, I voted for Kamala Harris, so I have no shame in telling. I vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Yes, sir. What about you, Tay? If you don't feel no pressure to disclose, you don't have to. I know some people are sensitive, so you don't have to. But yeah, I voted for Kamala. But what you said? Who you say you looking forward to? Bam, Oscar? My bad.
Yeah, Bam, and then Ray Ford and Tiger Williams.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ray Ford since he's making his debut at 130. And
sadly, the fight I'm looking the least is Keyshawn. I mean, Boots.
Yeah, because that's a rematch. That's a rematch. You're not really looking for, but I'm looking forward to it because I'm thinking he's gonna stop him this time. Not that he has to, but it would be nice if he stopped him. But Karen's not a bad fighter though. You know, he earned that spot back according to the IBF. So
it just goes back to what we were saying with Usyk a couple of streams ago. It's like does it pound for pound if you beat the same guy?
Yeah.
Twice,
right.
It don't change nothing. You already beat him once.
Yep. I think so what's the name too, like you said though, Bam is fighting that's all I want to say. Bam is fighting a good fight too as far as the rankings go. You know, he's fighting a guy that's his interim champion, so I think this is a good fight. Pedro Guevara. So yeah, man, I just don't want to see his next fight if it's against the mandatory, because the mandatory is Chocolatito.
And if it makes that I'm not going.
I'm not going, bro. Yeah, that should be abuse, bro. That's elderly abuse, bro. If I vote, I'm going to vote for Kamala, but I don't think I want to do it at all. She needed all the help she can go, so I might change my mind. I feel it. Yeah, some people aren't really. I'm not gonna lie, and there's no disrespect to both future. I mean the prospective candidates, right? No disrespect to Kamala or Donald, but they're not easy to get excited for. So if you don't vote, you know, I think everybody should vote and let their voices be heard. Me personally, and exercise their civic duty, or civic right, I should say. But you know, I'm not one of those that because I do something, I think I condemn people who don't. That's not my business, you know. So that's between you and yours. But I would encourage everybody to vote. You know, I can't. But you're talking to somebody who's canvassed before. I canvassed, and you know, and I canvassed. I didn't canvass this time. I canvassed nor for Hillary and Trump. I canvassed for last one I canvassed for, I believe, was Obama, and who was the last person you ran against? Romney.
Ted Cruz.
I think it was Romney. I canvassed for Obama and Romney, and you know I voted for Obama, but you know because my sensibilities and my values tend to align, my morals tend to align more with the blue side, but I'll go with either one.
Obama before Diddy.
But
before Diddy scandal.
Hey yo, but yeah, I canvassed for him. But even when I was canvassing, you know, I know people that were turning down. If they thought that you were going to vote for the party that they weren't aligned with, they wouldn't. So those of you that don't know what canvassing is, and canvassing is like just, you know, encouraging people to vote and sometimes advocating for a voter for a particular candidate, and also transportation. So I was doing, you know, going away with trying to get people to vote, and I was also, I had a Durango at the time, so I put people in my car. I could carry like 8 people at a time, and bring them to the polls, transport to the polls. I would bring some known people people that I knew were going for Romney, but I wouldn't deny them access. I feel like that's wrong, man. That's discriminating. So that goes against my values more than who you're voting for. You know, it's a democracy. Everybody should have a right to vote, and I'm against people, you know, tactics by some parties in particular that try to stop people from voting. You know what I'm saying? Especially elderly and people that are lacking transportation. So if I was to deny people opportunity to vote because they're going against me, then I'd be going against what I stand for. So, but yeah, it was pre-Diddy.
No Diddy.
Hey, yo, that's crazy, bro. But yeah, man, I think back to the boxing, man. I think Bam, like I said, I'm hoping he doesn't fight Roman Chocolatito, but I mean, he is #1, so.
You know what's one thing I don't understand about Bam? I don't see it so high in the pound-for-pound ranking.
Thank you, Oscar. I don't understand it. I don't. No disrespect to him. I think that he has the ability.
He's a fantastic fighter.
Facts.
He's a fantastic fighter.
Facts.
But what has he done?
I don't understand how people can put him over Dave Benavidez. Like, and Dave Benavidez is low on my list. Like, he's top 10, but I say Dave Benavidez I think he's like 8 or 9 for me. Like, no disrespect to Bam, but he is beating guys. He's beating older guys, but let's look. I can name 10 people that I put above him right now. Of course, Usyk.
No.
Of course, Bud. Of course, Inoue. Of course, Canelo. Of course, Bivol. Of course, Beterbiev. Of course, Tank. Of course, Benavidez. Of course, Dubois. And of course, did I say Benavidez already? I said Benavidez. And Haney. I can't put him over none of those guys. Unless you want to say Haney lost, and even if Haney lost, then okay, I would go to Shakur. And even if you don't like Shakur, I would go to somebody like Tyson. I would go to Tyson Fury or Junto. Like, yeah, like I just think that these guys are champions longer now. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is a beast, and I like him. I think he's gonna be on the list. But I see people have him #4, #3.
That's why I was like, why is he so high? Like,
I don't get it, bro. Maybe I'm missing something.
What has he done? I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic fighter.
Facts. And I think he will be on the list.
But I don't have him over any of those guys. Me personally.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but it's like sometimes I think that I will say this too, and this is gonna sound kind of bad, I guess, but I think sometimes you are crippled from a boxing standpoint, like a fandom standpoint, and appreciation when it comes to smaller weights. But sometimes, and I think in the case of Bam and some other people, sometimes on pound for pound lists, sometimes the smaller you are, it's like they want to put you up higher just because you're small. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not disrespecting the smaller fighters, but like you said, I don't get why he was over. Like, I know Benavidez is not a champion and Bam Rodriguez is a champion right now. He's not a full champion, but come on, man. Like, he's been there for a while. He's obviously avoided. I just don't get how he's so low. You know what I'm saying? He just moved up to 175 and beat a former champion. Like, you know what I'm saying? He beat Caleb Plant, a former champion. I don't get it. Like, the people that have him #4, I guarantee you they probably can't name 3 people that Bam Rodriguez beat.
No, I can't even do that.
Yeah, I think it's just name. Like, he beat Sonny Edwards, he beat Carlos Cuadras. Yep, he beat Juan Francisco Estrada. You know, he has some good names. Don't get me wrong, but if you look at when he beat them, and you know, and the wars that these guys have been in, what's the guy Wikasa? I can't remember his name. I think he's from Thailand. He beat him too. He's an older fighter too. Yeah, Wikasa. I can't remember how to pronounce it.
All I know is that I think it's because of this notion that people have that the smaller weights are fantastic boxers. They're the best of the best. Technique-wise, they're the best. When I mean, we just look at some fights this year, and you were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
Right. I will say that they have now they have exceptional gas tanks. Their stamina is crazy.
Yeah.
That stamina is crazy, but yeah, man, and like I said, and Bam Rodriguez, he stands out because he has great skills. You know what I'm saying? He has great skills, and he's able to stand out because, like you said, a lot of times they just have a gas tank. Bam Rodriguez is definitely more than that, and I think he will be on the pound for pound list. But like I said, I've seen him over Canelo, I've seen him over Beterbiev. Like, bro, Beterbiev is undisputed. Those are two undisputed guys. What are we talking about?
And the guy has the guy unified like.
No, he's not unified.
So
no, because the IBF is vacant right now. You have Fumulele Cafu, who just won his match at WBO. We saw
that guy,
fight.
Cafu, we watched that fight.
Yeah, we watched that fight.
Like,
Yeah, the South African. Yep.
That's the guy we were like, oh shit, what the hell?
Yep. He just beat Kosei Tanaka. Yep. And then Fernando Martinez, he's a champion. And then Bam Rodriguez. Yeah, like I said, the IBF is vacant right now because Fernando Martinez gave up his belt in order to have a rematch, which is a more lucrative fight with Kosei Tanaka, not Kosei Tanaka, Kazuto Ioka. So he had to give up his belt to have that rematch.
I would put, like, if you were going to put a smaller division guy, I would put Junto there.
Me too.
Then Bam, but if Junto would have been there, he would have been like number 10, number 9.
Right.
I just don't understand the reasoning behind Bam being number 4.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Now, I will say the only thing I will say for Junto, that favors Bam over Junto is the fact that, he's been through different weights. I think he's been in more weights than Junto, but it still is. But it's like those are smaller weight classes too, so it's like not discrediting it. Like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful what I say, but I do think sometimes in the overall scheme of boxing, it hurts to be in smaller weights because they don't get as much notoriety. But when it comes to things like pound for pound votings, I think sometimes the smaller guys are slightly overrated. Like, yeah, I think so. But not all the time. But like obviously it is not applicable to guys like freaking Nai Inoue and stuff like that. Of course, he's an exception, but he's 2 times undisputed. Let him get there. He earned that. That's why he's at the top, because he earned that. Like, can Bam be unified? Let alone undisputed first. You feel me? Even like Junto. Junto's been a champion right now. They're talking about him and Naya Inoue, which I don't like. I want him to unify as well.
Okay, and Junto. It's Boogie and Junto. Any fighter in Junto, honestly.
Yeah, any of them. Yeah, any of them, man. I think the one that'd be the most intriguing would be that new guy, Seiya Tsutsumi versus Junto. I think that'd be intriguing, but of course, if Bam Rodriguez and Junto fight, I'll watch it. If Bam Rodriguez and now you fight, I'll watch it. If Junto and now you fight, I'll watch it. But I think, man, I'm a big advocate for at least unifying, bro. Before we talk about different divisions, man. At least you ain't got to get undisputed, but at least unify, bro. Gosh.
Yeah, I don't think you got to be undisputed to be the best guy at the division. I think people can see that. But at least unified, yeah. Like, I agree with that.
Right. I mean, and it's not just a plague for the smaller weight division. Like, look at Jay Alpataya. Everybody says, oh, he's the best cruiserweight. Yeah, I think Jay Alpataya is the best cruiserweight. But there's 3 other champions that would beg to differ. Like, why do people act like it's just such a given that Jay Alpataya is so much better that he has to move up? Like, can he go beat Chris Billiam Smith, the other champion? Can he go beat Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez? Can he go beat Noel McCallan, who's the other champion? Like, can we get these fights first before we declare somebody as the best? Like, he has not unified, bro. How is he the best? Because he beat other people that weren't that weren't champions? Like, come on, bro. But with that said, I do think he's the best. I do think he's the best, but it's one thing to think. We got to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to see it, bro. Yeah. It's part of proving it, man. Upsets happen.
All the time.
All the time, bro. Most recently, Tim Tszyu. Ask him about upset.
Hey.
Bakram went crazy. Bakram went nuts. Hey, yo.
3 rounds.
3 rounds, man down. 3 rounds.
No, half a beer. 3 rounds, half a beer, no chicken wings even.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. You know what I always watch again, man? Shout out to Tim Tszyu because I do think he'll bounce back. But I like the celebration too, man. He knocked him, they stopped his eyes. I know he said it translates to like praise God and stuff, but I don't want to repeat it and mess it up. So, But shout out to him, man. I liked it, man. He went around screaming, bro. I don't blame him. You being the underdog, people counting you out. You have a broken hand or whatever, you know, and you come through adversity, man, and you perform like that in devastating fashion. Like you can't question it. You know, that's man. Shout out to Baccarat, bro. I was happy for him, man. Shout out to Tim, like I said too, but I was just happy for him.
No, facts, yeah. I was surprised more than anything.
Bro. Like you said, remember I ain't even get to eat a wing, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm mad at Tim Zoo, man. Tim Zoo owe me some wings, man. Tim Zoo owe me some wings. If we get him on the, well, I can't ask him that because he might never come back. But if we ever get blessed enough, you know what I'm saying, to interview Tim Zoo, I'm gonna tell him about that. I said, bro, you owe me some wings, man. I ordered some wings, and that fight ended so quick. He'll probably end the interview quick. He'll probably end the interview quicker.
You got say hi, guys.
Right. But yeah, man, shout out to Tim Zoo, man. One thing I gotta salute him as well because he takes all comers. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that I don't know him to avoid anybody. Not saying if you don't take a microscopic look at his career, maybe there was somebody that he could have fought, didn't fight. But as far as my knowledge, I see him as a guy that's about that life, and you gotta respect those fighters, even when they lose, man. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, you can only take one fight at a time, so.
Yep.
There's gonna be a guy somebody does at some point.
Yep.
But out of anybody in this whole boxing thing that seems to be taking the fights just as they come, it's Tim Zoo. You can't hate him for it.
I agree. Agreed, man. Agreed, bro. Oh, were you? I remember wanting to get your opinion. I don't remember if you joined and said it though. Did we talk about Xander Zayas already?
No.
Okay. So Xander Zayas yesterday, I announced that. Well, I was reading this article according to the WBO convention in Puerto Rico. Apparently, he has a fight that's in talks. Is being considered for him to fight Slava Spomer, who's a number 12 ranked guy in the WBO. In the WBO, you know, Xander Zayas is ranked number 1.
Yep.
And Slava Spomer, yeah, it's crazy. Slava Spomer is a German guy, undefeated, 19-0. I like this fight for him, man. I like this fight, man. I know a lot of people be like, hold on, let me find it. I know a lot of people, they're going to hear Slava Spomer, and they're going to say,
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? No damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Myself, I don't know who he is either. I got to do my due diligence and research and stuff like that. But I like the fact that, you know, I know Xander Zayas is number 1, so some people will be disappointed slightly because of that, but bro, they're not in charge of the rankings, man. The man is 22 years old. He has 20 wins. He just came off of a win against Damian Sosa, which was spectacular, but Damian Sosa just came off of Pro Box. No disrespect to Pro Box, but that is where he came from, and you're not going to be at the top of your game, per se, if you're fighting on Pro Box. That's just not the platform it is right now. Maybe become that, but that's not what it is right now, you know? So if you're on Pro Box, you're either unknown, trying to get your name, or bouncing back from your name being in the dirt a little bit because you lost or something. So, but yeah, he just beat Damian Sosa. Was a great win in my opinion, and he beat who did he beat before that? Patrick Cicera, who's been in championship fights. So this guy, I think, is a good step up. You know, he's fighting a top 15 guy, and I like it. You know, I think it's a great fight, and he has called out Virgil Ortiz. I want to see that fight too, but I think it's a little. It's not premature to me from the standpoint that he can't win. I think he can beat Virgil Ortiz, but I think that, you know, just go through the natural progression. You never know what you may see from another guy that may prompt you to work on some things and polish some things that you weren't necessarily keen on that needed polishing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really known to you. So I like it, man. And then after this fight now, if he wins, then I would like to see him against Jesus Ramos or Erickson Lubin, Virgil Ortiz type guy, you know, Sergey Boachuk, stuff like that.
But I ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Man, I wish I was here too, so he can answer it too. But how, like, you know, professionals, they're good at that level. But then, don't you think sometimes they get put in like a journeyman, and then the journeyman does better than expected? No, all the time it's always like that. Like, they do something to offset. Like, how much does road work and the level you're fighting at involve your skill?
That's a good question. I think it should. I think a lot of times we don't consider that, right? Like, which is why Edgar Berlanga, who was the victim of that, right? He looked so great because of great matchmaking and top. Like before watching Edgar Berlanga, I'm not trying to shit on Edgar Berlanga. I'm just speaking on the past. When he had a 16 fight win streak, 16 first round KO, his 17th fight was the 17th round of professional boxing, phenomenal. But then when he started to slow down, you know, and his knockouts stopped, you know, not only did they decrease, they halted. Then it's like, okay, now he has a lot of pressure, because now it can kind of backfire, because not only it seems like it's not good enough for him to just win anymore. He has to get a knockout, or people, because he was still winning. He wasn't losing. He was just coming in close fights, and he wasn't getting knockouts. So then I think it was more so indicative of matchmaking, and that was indicative to what you're saying, like it's who you're fighting. But a lot of times with Edgar Berlanga, we don't really care who you're fighting as long as you're winning it spectacularly. But then it can come back and bite you in your butt, you know. But Xander Zayas, in my personal opinion, I think it's good. You know, I think Top Rank's doing a good job, because I think Damian Sosa was a good fighter. I think Damian Sosa could be ranked in 154. Do I think he's gonna beat any of the top guys? No, but I think that Xander Zayas essentially washed him, and I don't think too many. If you're not a good fighter, you're not gonna do Damian Sosa like that, in my opinion. So I think that was So I think that was indicative of that, and I think that while they are, I don't think they should rush him, and it doesn't seem like they are. But at the same time, I do think that he needs to step up. And I think this Slava Spomer, even though I don't know anybody he fought, like I said, I got to do my research. But the fact that he is undefeated and he's ranked top 15, I think that's good enough.
I know that sounds bad, but I think the fight I want to see is Vito.
Is who?
Vito.
Oh, Vito. Ooh, hey.
He's been riding on that status, and you know, because we've been following him, and you've been following him too. He's been riding on that status for a minute.
Facts. That's a good fight. I would like to see Xander and Vito, Jonas Tellis versus Vito. Who Jonas Tellis called out Xander. I would like to see Charles Conwell and Vito, or Charles Conwell and I'm gonna be honest. Me selfishly, I don't want to see Charles Conwell and Xander's eyes. I don't want to see that yet. I want to see that in the future. I don't want to see that right now. But
I don't want to see it right now.
Right. But yeah, I want to see that later on. But yeah, I would definitely like to see Vito in there. Vito been he been rocking for a minute.
Vito's been around longer.
Yeah.
I've heard this guy like a year and a half ago.
Yep.
But it seems like he never moved forward. Like he just stayed where he's at.
I agree.
Like he said, I'm good. Which I don't. If that's what he thinks, I don't blame him for it. Like,
right.
What is he, a silver champion or a golden champion?
I don't know. Well, I'm thinking silver, but let's. I'll look it up right now.
He's got WBC, but I think he's silver. He's a silver champion.
He's some
and
champion.
But then he lost, and then he bounced back, and he don't seem like he's going anywhere.
He's a USA. Yep, he's a WBC USA Super Welter champion. Yep. So the USA belt.
Oh, so regional.
Yeah, regional. Yep.
That's still a title, though.
Yeah, facts.
Title has significance, but
yep.
See, I expect him to be higher than what he is right now.
Yep, I agree. And outside of his loss, him and Xander have an identical record. They're both 20-0 with 12 knockouts. But Vito has a loss, though, of course.
Yeah, Vito has a loss.
Yeah.
It's just right now, Sanders got more hype around him than Vito. When Vito should be the guy to come out of top rank.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's top rank doing him dirty. I don't think so.
I think they do him good.
Got nobody at 154.
Yeah. I think they actually doing Vito good, but I think that they see something to where they don't trust him. I think.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
Do you consider Vito in the same level as Center size that he can go?
You know what's crazy?
Top guy?
No, so I agree with you 1,000%. I think that Vito has been around longer, even though they have the same amount of fights. Vito has been pumped more. Paul, hey yo.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Hey, whoa.
Hey yo. Pause. Hey yo.
What do you mean by that?
He's been publicized more. You know, so like you said, I know Vito more as well, but I think as far as skills, I think Xander is a more capable fighter. Yeah. But I think Vito, like you said, he's the one that should be taking the bigger risk right now at this point. But I don't think that he's as good as Xander. No, I think Xander is. I think he has a higher ceiling, and I think he's better right now at this moment as well than Vito.
Yeah, he's better right now. Where it shouldn't be like that. I think Vito, he's very limited, but he should work around his all-round game.
Yeah.
But it just seems like I'm just watching the same guy every fight.
Yep, I agree. Agreed. Yes, sir, man. Hey, yo, what's this dude's name? Hey, Oscar, what's this dude's name, bro?
Who?
I don't know if you can see on the chat, bro.
Let's see.
Hey, yo, hold on. I know he's
In the chat?
Not in the chat. Sorry, on the screen. I know he's he seems like he's probably by his name he's definitely Asian descent, probably Indian or Sri Lankan or something. Let me see.
Where's he at?
Yeah, Indo-Canadian. My boy's name is Suck Deep Bati. Hey, yo. So I know you're not Jamaican. I know you're Mexican, but I'm Jamaican and Nigerian. So I don't know if you know what Bati means. You know what Bati means in Jamaican, like in patois?
Ain't that like the word they used to discriminate people that are from there? They're Jamaican.
No, Bati is just butt, the booty.
Oh, Bati is butt.
Yeah. So if you say take out his middle name, Suck Deep Booty. Suck Deep Booty is crazy. Hey, yo. My boy, his name is Suck Deep Bati. If he's Jamaican, boy, his name would be Suck Deep Booty. Hey, yo.
What do you mean by
that? That's crazy, bro. Don't forget to like the video, man. This is how you get. This is the content that you get when you come around here, man. We dive deep into this boxing world, you know. Maybe a little too deep, but we dive deep.
What's his record?
He's undefeated though. He's ranked number 10 in the IBF. I was just looking at the rankings when we were talking about Vito, and I just saw his name. Hey, yo. He's 32, 19-0, 8 KOs. But all of his fights are primarily in India.
Suck Deep Sing Bati.
Yeah, Suck Deep Sing Bati. Oh, he's Indian Canadian, Indo-Canadian. So our boy Ryan probably knows about him.
About Suck Deep?
Hey, yo. Hey, Left Hook Lazy know what I'm talking about. Exactly, Left Hook. Exactly. Top of the line boxing. You feel me, Smoochie? Top of the line boxing discussion. My boy name is Suck Deep.
Like,
hey, yo.
You know, some Mexican parents, they do this to, like, especially when they got, like, wives and all, white husband, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But they put, like, Dylan, Hector Garcia, White or Smith. I'm like, why do you, no, don't do that to a kid. Like, what? Dylan, Hector.
Hey, yo.
What? It's like mixing mac and cheese and beans. Like, don't do that, bro.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. That's a name right there, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Deep.
And you know Canada, right? So, for those of you who don't know, I think it has a pretty good reputation, especially Montreal, right? I wish Ryan was here. He could speak on it more. But Canada is like a melting pot of cultures. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I went to Canada for the Carabana Festival, which is a Caribbean festival up there, it's held in Toronto. And I remember like literally one day, bro, I had all three of my meals were from different parts of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Different cultures in different countries. Like I remember I had I had to get my pancakes in for breakfast with the Canadian maple syrup. Then I had the Korean for lunch. Then I had Jamaican for like a snack middle dinner. And then for dinner I had what was it called, man? I can't remember what it was called, but it was Middle Eastern food. I can't remember exactly where it was from in the Middle East, but
Mediterranean or Middle East?
Say it again.
Mediterranean or Middle East?
Mediterranean. Thank you. Mediterranean food. Thank you. It was Mediterranean food, exactly. Yeah. So it was like, and this is all like I was there visiting, for a vacation, so it was all around my hotel, like all walking distance. Within the middle mile of each other. So the reason why I brought that up is because this dude is in Canada, so there's some Jamaicans over there. So I'm pretty sure they made fun of him. I'm pretty sure if I said that to him, I wouldn't be the first person to say it. That's the point I'm getting to. He probably got teased, better where there's a melting pot of cultures in Canada, man. So yeah, somebody said Suck Deep Bati is crazy. He probably got hell going through school.
Like, how do you say like let's say this guy gets in the conversation, and like about that Suck Deep. Get your gay ass. Like
Hey yo, nah, bro, you wildin', bro.
Suck Deep is number one.
Who you like, bro? What fight do you like? I like that Suck Deep Bati.
I was like, oh hell no.
Nah, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's a name right there, man. I wonder what it means. It got to mean something spectacular in his native tongue, cause I'd been to change my name by now.
Oh,
It must mean something really. You know what I'm saying? It must mean something cool. Like my name means in Igbo. My name means God bless the children. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I appreciate it, bro. But this name right here, I don't know what this one means.
It's a mouthful.
It's about literally and figuratively. Hey, you imagine he crossed paths with Diddy? Oh, Diddy will love him. Hey, yo, he gonna get a free pass to the party. He gonna get a free pass to the party.
No, Diddy.
He be like, oh, what Diddy Perker? What you do? What do you do? What do you like to do? No, Diddy, that's his name, bro. That's just his name. Oh, okay, my bad. Diddy get excited, boy. No, that's just his name, Diddy. Relax. Put the baby oil down. I'm not going. Hey, yo, Suck Deep Bati is wild.
Wild, baby.
But yeah, man, shoot. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call it, bro. Give me some food, man. What you have planned for the day? Besides
Clean the upstairs because I'm about to get the sheetrock for it.
Okay.
For the walls so I can start muddying and finishing the rooms on top.
True. Oh, man, I'm laughing at Smoochie. Smoochie said Diddy would be like, what do you want me to do to you, boy?
Whoa.
Daddy? He would say, Daddy? What you want me to do to you, Daddy?
Call me love.
What?
Yo, gotta chill.
Oh shit. Election finishes today, right?
Yes, sir. Today is election day. Chat, if you have not voted already, exercise your civic right and your civic duty. Demonstrate your civic duty to go
I'm about
vote.
to sign up online and do it real quick.
Hey, if you can't go vote, man. It is the last day. This is officially challenge day. It's challenge day. We will have a new person.
The gender reveal for the U.S. of A.
Facts. The gender reveal of the U.S. of A. That's a fact.
You want to?
No, literally though, because not only like the president, of course, but also we gonna find out if it's a boy or a girl. So that hits twice. We literally and figuratively a gender reveal, not only for who is particularly going to be in office, but we gonna find out if it's going to be a boy or a girl. That's crazy. Yeah, facts. That's crazy.
Do you want it to be a boy or a girl? I'm kidding.
Yeah, we gonna find out, man. Today is the day, man. All this campaigning. Make sure you vote for those amendments too, the ones that fit your fancy and your sensibilities.
Even if it's not your party, just vote for whoever aligns more to your moral.
That's how I do. I don't even go really with the party, you know what I'm saying? But I will say mostly I align with Democrats, but I voted for a Republican before.
And right now that no tax on overtime,
hey,
it's looking pretty nice.
Hey, I don't know if I ever voted for a Republican for presidential office, but at the local level, I definitely have. I'm trying to think. Since I became eligible to vote, now I don't think I've ever voted for the president, for a Republican in the presidency, but definitely at the local level for sure. State and local level, yes sir. A couple times actually.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
Yep. So yeah, I just go with more so about the person and whose administration and policies align with what I think is correct. That's what everybody should vote for, man. Everybody just vote for whatever is right for you, or what you think in your outlook on society, or you think it should be.
In Mexico, what happens is, I know I'm going to change the subject, but it's in Mexico cool at the end. In Mexico, there's this thing called bars, and there's like people that support the team fanatically, and they get paid for it.
Okay.
Dude, these people will beat the shit out and sometimes kill other persons.
Yes.
Just because they're wearing a different shirt. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, no, that happens in Jamaica too. My mom told me when. Oh, my bad. I mean, go ahead, finish. My fault.
No, go ahead. It's
Well, I was just gonna add to. I said, yeah. So my mom was always telling me stories about like political racism in Jamaica. She said she don't think it's that bad anymore, but Yeah, like there'll be deaths over political parties affiliations. Yeah, that'd be campaigning hard. She said that when she came over here, she was that's one thing that she said was she was surprised in a pleasant. She said a lot of things she was surprised about America in a negative way, but that was one of the things that she was surprised in a positive way is the fact that how nonviolent the elections were.
Damn.
Yeah, she said
Well,
you got to
damn,
keep
but
it a
I
secret
know
who
a
you
couple
vote for.
politicians that got killed in Mexico.
Oh yeah, they don't play. But
No,
yes,
but
sir,
like,
man.
I was just saying, like, even like, how do you hate something so much? Just colors. That's what it is. Just colors. You hate colors so much to the point of that being your ideology. I don't get that.
You feel me? I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
But all right, dog. I'll let you go.
Yes,
What you gonna
sir,
have for lunch
man.
today?
Man, I don't know. I have no. I'm about to go figure it out. Hopefully, I have something. I have some. I'm gonna eat some cereal right now just to hold me over while I find something more with more substance. I have some.
So
Frosted
what's a
Flakes.
burger?
No Whataburger. I might look for some breakfast food here. I get some pancakes. Some pancakes, eggs, and bacon. That sounds good right now. Hey, De La Hoya says he 100% wants Shakur versus Payton next. So we'll see. And then Joseph Parker still saying that he wants Dubois as his next victim. So we'll see. Maybe. You fool me once.
Oscar said this last time. Oscar shook that on stage.
You feel me?
Live television.
Right. Exactly. So
I believe it when I see it.
yeah, I believe it when I see it too. But hey, we'll see, man. But yeah, Oscar, I appreciate you, man. You be easy, bro. I appreciate you coming through as always, dog.
No problem, doc.
Yes, sir.
Catch you in the late stream again.
Yes, sir. You already know. Catch you in the late show. Good Lord willing.
Yes, sir.
All right, chat. I'm about to go ahead and call it. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. We had a good show today. Entertaining show to me. Funny show, man. Shout out to Oscar for pulling up. I'll be back on street. Yeah, that's a pause. Wait. Oh, wait. What's a pause? Matt is a master at milking an extra 10 minutes. Hey. yeah. That's definitely a pause.
No, did he?
Yeah, you wildin'. Hey, yo. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking, man. I'll be back on later on tonight for the late show. And go vote. Today's Election Tuesday, November 5th. Last day to get your opinions heard from a national standpoint. But y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. Remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Don't forget to like the video. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.